Thank you. Let's take it over to Marcus Allen, talking to a mountain biker who is blazing the trail. Or do we not have anybody? Oh, look at that. Right on cue. I'm the fall guy here.
Sorry.
Hey,
That's
you okay?
right.
You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's funny, Walt? I am so out of shape, just riding around in circles waiting for you to toss to me. I am winded, so I'm going to toss over to this guy. This is the Calirado Kid. I was turned on to him because of his YouTube channel that is proliferating. Only a year old. The anniversary is coming up. It has taken off, and you're making our trails globally famous.
That is the goal. That is the goal. Mountain biking it's a love. It's a passion of mine, and the YouTube channel has been an absolute blast. Creatively, it's been incredible meeting a ton of awesome people, and I can't talk highly enough about myself, obviously. That's really the most important thing, but no, the channel is great. It's been fantastic, and yeah, we got a lot of great stuff in the Sacramento and Northern California area that is really great to highlight, so it's been awesome.
What's wild about it, the first video that I saw that someone had sent me a link to has you're actually reconstructing and revitalizing some of our mountain bike trails. And watching this thing, I realized there are people from all over the world coming in. It's a community that does it.
It's absolutely huge. I mean, we've got local trail building associations, and they can pull people together like Fat Track, American River Conservancy, Motherlode Trails. And what they do is they do volunteer days, and people that love to ride can be involved in building trails. And it's huge because I don't think people realize sometimes that the trails you ride, you can actually help build them and maintain them. So it's absolutely huge, and it's a great community. They all kind of come together and make it all happen. It's huge.
Yeah, this is wild. He's like the Steven Spielberg of mountain bike trail cinematography. Your skills are mad, and you're self-taught.
Self-taught, yeah. It's I've been at the channel for about a year now, and basics started with a GoPro and a cell phone, which is more than enough to create amazing content, but over time you evolve and start to learn new skills and find a different way to tell a story. And that's really what it's all about these days, is telling an interesting story about our local community, or, you know, a ride or some sort of random adventure we went on. But it's been a blast. It's super fun.
It's awesome. The Calirado Kid. I'm going to link all of his information to mine on Marcus Allen Show on Facebook. In fact, we're going to jump on there. And back to you.
Man, there they go. Okay, having watched that YouTube channel video, I feel like we all got our workout in. That's some dramatic stuff. Thank you both.
Woo! Are we live? Hi, everybody. Let's bring that down a little bit, shall we? Welcome in. Strap in. Happy Friday night. Okay. Yeah. Oh, the guitar solo. Whoa! 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 Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for jumping in. Look, we got a bunch of stuff going on in chat, all right? So let's jump right into it. How's everything sounding, guys? How's everything sounding? You guys are looking good. Yes, Unprofessional Kyle is in chat. What's up, Big Daddy Mike on a bike? Yeah, we're going to comment down for just a second before we cover a couple initial topics, because you never know what's going to happen around here, all right? No Front Brakes, good to see you, bud. Jay, of course, Bikesome, the legend himself, who dropped a video, my understanding, about an hour ago, according to his posts. I haven't had a chance to watch it because I've been slaving away behind the scenes to create miracle live stream magic. Look at, you can see the other screen. I'm going to hide it, look. I don't want anybody finding out what's going on over there, you know what I mean? Moon Rabbit Shadows, what's up? Tim Miller, good to see you, buddy boy. Yes. Captain's Cog, yes. Yeah, the wife and kids gave me a little free time, but they may come back midstream, so it could get real awkward real fast. It depends on how quick they run in here and interrupt everything, but it's totally good. Look at that, RC is in the house. Yes, good to see you. I love RC. He's probably one of my top 73 favorite YouTubers, mountain bike YouTubers. In the top 73, I mean, there's no question. There's no question. Who else is in here that I need to say hi to before we get down to business? Travel the Narrow Trail. Good to see you. Yes, I got to stop grabbing the mic. It's my thing. I don't know what it is. I think I'm used to being like behind the scenes. I'm not used to being on camera, right? Okay, that's not true. We all know that. There you go. Yes. Who else we got? Moon Rabbit. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. All right, let's get down to business. I'm going to try and keep up with you guys in chat again. This is your opportunity. Kind of the first parts of the stream are always your opportunity to kind of talk to me, and if there's any questions you have, we can cover it. I reach out on Instagram generally and try to get some basic interest in what people want to know about, and that's kind of what I'm going to start with, and then we can go from there. So, yeah. And then we can go on a lot of rants, because I got a dissector rant. I'm telling you right now, someone is in the house. This guy is probably the greatest video gamer in history, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that. Bandito, MTB Chica, what's up? Yes. Offline Ride. Yes. Absolutely. Good to see everybody. Okay, look, I made very detailed notes about the questions you asked on Instagram. So we're going to cover that first, okay? Let's see. Savant's in the house. Holy hell, man. You guys are awesome. All right, we got a lot of good people in here. And I know that RC asked if guests were coming on. You never know, do you? You just never know what's going to happen in a Calirado Kid live stream. So buckle up, strap in, and get ready. Happy Friday, everybody. Grab a nice little cocktail, grab a cerveza, grab a beer if you got one, because there you go. All right, so Brian Gong on Instagram was curious. You guys saw the recent video I put out, which was a sequel to the rock rolls at Granite Bay. And, a lot of people realized how much work that was. I mean, realistically, the hike up, the hike down, the setting of the cameras. I mean, anybody who's been in the game long enough knows the struggle when it comes to that. I am new to the game. You guys are aware of this, so I don't know the struggle, but I'm learning it. I'm learning it real fast. Like, it was arduous. I mean, that film was just shooting that was 4 to 5 hours of film time, just finding locations, going up, going down, going up, going down, getting 3 or 4 different angles per rock roll. And then, you've got to edit that with the GoPro footage and everything else. And then you've got your editing time, right? Which is, if anybody knows, it can be time consuming unless you have the vision ahead of time. If you don't know what it's going to be, then sometimes piecing it together, it's still really it's almost one of the funnest parts. But that piecing it together and then finding the right music to go with everything has been, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun, but it does take a lot of time. Yeah, and I got chased by a hell of a lot of mosquitoes. I'm not kidding you guys. You guys saw my Instagram stories. When we talk about getting chased by mosquitoes, I thought I was running through the Congo. I had never been attacked by so many mosquitoes in all of my life, at all, not even close. It was insane. Every time I stopped, and it was frustrating because it was the end of the video, at least filming wise. And I wanted to get that one final rock roll, but I would literally get the tripod out and I would set up the tripod, right? And so I would set the camera down, and as soon as I stopped to set the camera down, she's like, unbelievable. So I didn't cut it short, but I had to get out of there real fast because I didn't want to die. All right. So you guys know it's time consuming. There's a lot of you guys in chat that are excellent YouTubers. Maybe not quite as good looking as me, but very talented. I'm looking at you, Captain's Cog. But yeah, so there you go. You guys know how it is. You know how it is. I got a question about the best trail for beginners. Now that's local to me, right? Because some of you guys aren't in the Sacramento area or the California NorCal area, but I'm sure you guys all have trails that are great for beginners in your area. In our area, it's Granite Bay, hands down. I mean, I did a rock roll video there recently, and you guys saw how fun that is. I love that you can go out there in session, have a great time. It's not hardcore trail riding by any means, but it's super fun. And there's a front section that's basically they've just paved out. It's for hikers almost at this point. But a lot of people complain about it initially, but realistically, none of us are really riding that anyways. We use that to get back to the cool stuff. And so I think if I'm going to take anybody out on a beginner ride, it's going to be Granite Bay, because they just have some great trails that it just, you need flat, you need mild elevation climbs. Do you guys realize this? Anybody in chat, you guys realize this, right? When you take a beginner, okay, somebody that could even be fit, when you take them out on a ride, they get their ass kicked. Like to start, like, I mean, it's just a different type of workout when you're on a bike, going up, going down, that sort of stuff. The elevation climbs. I don't think, most people's legs are ready for that. And it's not like they're out of shape. It's just maybe they haven't developed the fitness for that specialized type of workout, right? So, I mean, you guys know that. Have you guys ever taken out a beginner and it's just like, oh, dear Lord, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Granite Bay hands down, because you got easy parking, you got, easy access to restrooms and whatever else. And there you go. You could just take right off from the beach and you can go as easy as you want or as hard as you want. And it's just, I really dig it. I like that. And then you can graduate from there. Can I tell you guys, I don't know if I talked about this last time while we're on the subject of beginner mountain bikers. Okay. And thank you guys for putting up with my ranting. If you guys, anyways. So we're out at Darrington Trail. Jay and I bike some. And we did a trail build day, which is what his most recent video is going to be about. And you guys saw my video about that also, right? We did an educational build day with Fat Track. And after the educational dig day, we went to go ride with Robert, AKA Biker. And so we did that. We rode in the Darrington area and we finally came back. It was a long day. We were out there in the morning, right? And then we finally came back. It was like the sun was not setting, but it was close. And there was this lady. She had a bike, but you could tell it certainly wasn't a full suspension bike. And it wasn't like anything great. And so she was walking down this final trail in Darrington. If you guys don't know anything about it, the very end section, like this, the beginning and the end, technically, because it's out and back, it's kind of chunky, right? Like you got rocks and stuff like that. You have to navigate a little bit. And so she's hiking her bike down. And you could tell right off the bat, it's like she's not been in the game for a long time. And so Jay and I are loading up the bikes, just getting ready. And then you can see her she's the only other car in the parking lot at this point. And she's loading the bike into the back of her, her rack, that, the bike racks that kind of stick out the back and whatever. It's not like a trail hitch. So she's throwing the bike in the back and it's just, you could tell it's just an overall awkward experience. And I had this epiphany at that moment. And I thought why not be a steward to the sport? And this is your chance. You know what I mean? When I first started, I had no clue what I was doing. And I'm sure you guys have similar experiences where it's like, when you first get into the sport, you have no clue what you're doing. And so to have somebody say hey, this is what that is, even that little tip can be huge. So I just went over. I was like, hey, how'd it go? How was the ride? And she's like, it was pretty good. But it was pretty hard. There was this really tough, And I was like, well, here's my suggestions. I was like, first of all, to get more comfortable on the bike, I'm like something like Granite Bay, right? Get out somewhere where you can have flat ground, you can get comfortable on the bike and things like that. So a stewardship being like, hey, this is where you should start. Okay. And then I'm like, well, if you don't know anybody that rides, I mean, that could be discouraging too. Because if you're just riding solo, it's just hard. If you're just getting punished day in, day out, how long are you going to stay in the sport? No matter what it is, whether it's mountain biking or whatever else, how long are you going to stick around? So I was like, here's a way to meet people. There's meetup groups locally that will organize group rides, and they're all all levels. I mean, even MTB NorCal on Instagram does this. They do that. But all skill levels, jump in, start to learn some trail systems, and meet some people that can say, hey, I'll show you around. Because there's nothing quite as disdain for me as trying to look at trail forks these days. I just I don't want to do it. I want you guys to show me around. I want you to say, right, BKXC's coined this one, but it's reach out to me and invite me somewhere and show me somewhere I haven't been, because I'm not going to sit around and look at trail forks anymore. I'm done with that nonsense. It's too much work. I already got cameras to worry about and all that other stuff. I got to comb my mustache every 12 minutes. It's kind of absurd. So there's my beginner talk, and that stemmed from a very simple question of best trails for beginners. So you can see how this could easily be a very long night. Yeah. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. Bike some. Yes. Yes. Unprofessional Kyle's working on his internet situation. No, Kyle, you said you have really crappy internet. Look at this. I put you on screen. You said you have really terrible internet. I'm not risking it. This is probably the highest quality mountain bike live stream that's on Friday at 7 p.m. that is involving me. Okay. And so I don't want to ruin that by having just choppy internet. Okay. So there you go. There's my answer. Anyways, I love you, Kyle. Stay in chat and provide some hilarity for us. Okay. Yeah, yeah. And, most of us that are in the YouTube game, none of us, I was going to say none of us are pros. Somebody in chat might take offense to that. But, we're all still learning. I mean, none of us have all the answers to everything. So, in my opinion, it's great. It's great. Be a steward to the sport. We can all be that vision that, hey, man, this is what you want to do. This is how you're going to do it. All right. There you go. What's the next question? All right. James, this is Instagram questions, by the way. When I always, sometimes I call for action on Instagram, and if you guys see it and you want to reach out, you can ask questions. If they're good enough questions, they might end up in the live stream. All right, trail etiquette from James AM126. Trail etiquette, I'll cover it briefly. We talked about it last time. You guys know what trail etiquette is. I think for the most part, in my opinion, I just don't want to piss anybody off. It's just not worth it to me. Again, as a steward of the sport, especially somebody who's in the public eye, right? I'm in the public eye, Unprofessional Kyle, Bike Some. If we are making videos on these trails, I think it's important that we represent the trails as well and represent what it could be and what it should be. So I kind of take that to heart, even though I goof around a lot. When I'm on the trail, I just give leeway to everybody. I don't even want to cause a fuss. I don't want to cause a fuss at all. Josh might take offense to the title of this live stream, by the way. Josh jumped in. He says, more consistent than the Joey podcast. That show went downhill after the weekly Righty guy left. Yes. And they had far less mustache prestige after you left as well, by the way. I think you shaved it, didn't you? God, I'm disappointed if you did. I wanted to have a mustache off. Or at least, at the very least, have a very slow motion scene of our two mustaches touching post-COVID. Okay, post-COVID. I want to be clear about that. Yes. Yeah, those guys never broadcast anymore. What the hell is going on over there? Do I need to take it over? No, I'm not going to call it the Joey podcast, though. It's too simple. Because my name's Joe, and then people will think it's about, because they're going to start calling me Joey. I haven't been called Joey since I was 7 years old. There you go. Oh my God, I'm Outdoor Gold. The difference between a good YouTube channel and a great YouTube channel is that they are willing to risk. Yes. Okay, I got a bone to pick with Kyle, but we'll talk about it later because I'm going to finish the IG questions. So there you go. All right, here we go. Next question. Worst poison oak story. It's not what you guys think, by the way, because you guys saw a recent post about how I freaking hate poison oak, okay? And I'm sure you guys can relate to this, okay? But the reason why I got my worst case of poison oak in history was because I was being vain, and I decided that it was going to be a great idea to take a picture by a waterfall. And that's how it all started, okay? I wanted to take a picture by a waterfall. And I said, this is going to be great for the gram. This is early on in the YouTube thing. This might have been, okay, actually, you want to know the truth? You guys know that video. Where I shot the intro to my channel for a while, which was welcome to the Calirado Kid. Well, I went out with a camera and I was out there for hours and hours and not knowing what to do at all. Not at all. This is coming from no editing to editing all of a sudden, right? And so I'm just riding along this trail and I see a waterfall on the way to film that section. And I just hike in through the bushes and I'm like, sweet. You can actually look it on my Instagram because I said in the picture, I was like, this was not worth all the poison oak that I got. Not at all. And the waterfall wasn't even spectacular. It was like a stream. It was disappointing. On every level. No, I'm back. What happened on my internet? Connection. Wait, what's going on here? Connection is unstable. It's fairly good. I'm wired. I'm hardwired to a switch. Unbelievable. Unprofessional. Unbelievable. It said, look, StreamYard said my connection was unstable. All right. I think they meant me, but that's not true. I'm hardwired to a switch in the front room. It works. Everything's fine. All right. It's under control. Yes. Okay, there we go. Yes, I'm trying. Oh, yeah. You need a whiskey glass? I got a whiskey glass right here. Cheers to you, Kyle. You should see the selection I have access to. You got a lot of good whiskey, do you, Kyle? Wow. I didn't know how much you had. I know you're a whiskey fan. Okay, I know you're a whiskey fan, but you said you had a couple. I don't know where you're getting all of it from, but more power to you, my friend. Yes. Kyle's awesome, by the way. Kyle's a hidden gem. You guys know who Kyle is. He's not Unprofessional Kyle anymore. We call him Cameo Kyle. That's officially his name because he just shows up at any random point in videos and pretty much every major YouTuber's videos. So, yeah, there you go. All right, we've got another question coming in. Okay, and this one's important. We got two more questions. Okay, two more and then we're done. All right. So Crispy Things wanted me to talk about tacos. And look, Crispy, no, because this is a serious channel. Okay? And I'm going to stick to serious topics. So I'm not going to talk about tacos, crispy things. I don't appreciate you trying to derail the quality content that's happening right now. And then Kenny Chaos says he wants to talk about my dashing good looks. I'll talk about that all night. Yes. Yeah, so let's talk about that. Yeah, the mustache, yeah? Okay, first, I got to cover a couple donations, first of all, because I'm an idiot and I've been rambling for too long. All right, Travel the Narrow Trail. I apologize for missing this a second ago. Calirado Lids. Are you talking about hats? I don't feel like I'm quite at the point where I'm at merch. Like, look at me, guys. I'm like at 1,700 subscribers. I'm like nothing. And that's what cracks me up about all this stuff. That's what I thought was so funny about the news broadcast that aired live on television about me, was the fact that I have no subscribers comparatively, and I'm on the news, and I've got some of the greatest mountain bike YouTubers in the game on this channel randomly for no reason. I think maybe they're in on the joke. They just think it's funny too. That could really be what it's all about. I think it's funny as hell. What the hell was that? What the hell? Wait a minute. Who the hell was that?
Hey, Joe, you got any cola in here?
No, I don't. Is that Kyle? What the hell are you doing here?
You got any cola?
No, I don't have any cola. That's like a $200 bottle of bourbon. Why would I give cola for it?
It's not open yet.
Kyle, where did you come from?
It's pretty defective until you open it.
Is that why my internet tanked, Kyle?
No, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Kyle, ladies and gentlemen, welcome unprofessional Kyle.
Are you doing something?
Yeah,
this?
I'm live streaming, Kyle.
What's that? Oh.
Well, since you're here, it's like, no, you smudged the lens, Kyle.
Whoa.
Jesus, you derailed. What the hell is happening? Well, grab a seat, buddy boy.
FaceTiming?
Yeah, no. Okay, I got an idea. Okay, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Cameo Kyle, everybody.
There's a microphone.
Yeah, the microphone's on. You got headphones right there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we certainly didn't plan this by any way, stretch of the means. Check this out. The video's going to pause for a second, but trust me, something's going to happen in the background here. I gotta figure it out. You ready?
Oh.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. We're going to pause for a second. And there we go. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, my co-host for the evening,
me.
Unprofessional Kyle.
It's not Trooper Kyle. It's Unprofessional Kyle.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
I know you didn't recognize me.
I know you guys thought it was the guy from Trailhead Troopers, and you were 100% correct. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It is Unprofessional Kyle, and he's here. Cheers to you, my friend.
Well, that's the thing. I don't have any whiskey yet. Do you have an opened bottle?
I want you to know, by the way, I have a bottle of Midwinter's Night Dram open currently, but he picked a very special bottle, which also happens to hail from Colorado. So
that's why I picked it partly.
Look at this.
Yeah, this is one of the few Colorado whiskeys I have yet to try.
Yeah.
And I've heard so many good things. And look how many stickers are on there. But do you have any idea how much flavor that adds?
That's literally how I picked
So
it.
much.
It had a lot of stickers.
Yeah.
And so I figured, hell, it's got to be good, right? I'm going to put a lot of, whenever I do merch, by the way, it's going to be covered in stickers. Yeah.
Could I have
Yeah, here you go, sir.
A dram? I know
Yep.
it's not midwinter or
Yep.
night, but
All right. He's got his headphones. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in. Welcome to another Calirado Kid live stream. Happy Friday. Thanks for stopping by. Who is in the chat? Do we have everybody in here? Yes, Paul the Puncher. Good to see you. Paul, you may jump in here later. I don't know. Let me know if you want to jump in later. I'll shoot you a link. Outdoor Gold, I shot you a link earlier. I didn't talk to you about it at all. I was like, just in case. If anybody wants to, just let me know later. But for now, we got a couple things we're going to cover. All right.
get in here, RC.
RC. He says it's Kyle.
I can't see the chat from here.
Okay, wait. Is the camera in the way?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, wait. We got this one over here. We're gonna.
Now your head is in the way.
Yeah, we didn't. Okay, it is a big head, isn't it? I'm full of myself.
Bigger mouth.
And now the mic's in the way. All right, we're figuring it out as we go. Thanks for strapping in, everybody. Happy Friday night. All right, here we go. All right, Kyle, what's going on, buddy? You talk for a second. I'm gonna drink.
Okay, I'm talking for a second while he drinks. So that's what we're doing now on the stream, is that I'm talking while he drinks, and we're back.
No, keep talking. I'm reading comments.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't include that part. So now I'm talking while he reads comments. When I still can't see the chat. Are you gonna?
Wait, what do you need to see it?
Well, there's a camera here and a head here. So is there any way you could like switch it to the?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, yeah, that's mildly better. It's a good thing I switched to my actual glasses that I can see with.
Good. Yeah.
You know, it'd be great too if you could just scoot this camera just slightly to that way and maybe pan it just a
You know what I was going to do?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, guys, for the dry run here.
I'm just trying to make it. Oh, okay, now I can't see my face, but I can see the chat a little better. Okay.
Good God.
I thought I was unprofessional.
RC, why didn't you tell me this guy was a goddamn prima donna? I don't know where to look anymore. The camera's way over here. Happy Friday, everybody. We're going to talk about bikes again. Don't worry. I'm catching up on chat because everybody's in here. Bike Sum's in here. Paul the Punter's in here. DeGonger is in here. He was going up to Auburn to get some suspension work done, by the way. And I could actually bring this monitor closer, which is what I'm going to do. But I should have had him just stop by and just jump in from the background too. But I didn't plan that far ahead, did I? Maybe only a little bit far ahead. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Crashing Dad. Where the hell is that guy? All right, hold on.
My number one fan is in the chat, apparently.
Who's that?
That would be Josh,
I love Josh.
daily mountain bike rider.
I love Josh so much. So much.
He's asking how difficult is it being the best looking YouTuber, right? From Colorado. Okay, not the best looking YouTuber, just from Colorado. So you got to narrow the.
I'm glad
okay.
I'm glad he clarified that because I might have got a little angry at you, Josh. Okay, had you just said how does it feel to be the best looking YouTuber, I would have been pissed. But you said from Colorado, and technically he's more from Colorado than I am. Although I existed in Colorado.
That's
at
actually
one point.
not entirely true because
Okay.
I was born in California.
So was I.
Yeah. Well, wait. How long did you spend in Colorado? Yeah, less than me. Oh, so I am more from.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Okay, we qualified it. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah, and yeah, Paul the Punter brings up a great question, by the way. And hold on, I'm still figuring out this whole live stream, guys. Thanks. All right, here we go. He says, "How often does daily MTB rider ride?"
Yeah, not daily. I bet.
Certainly not daily. You better change that name. I mean, Bobo did a name change, and Crashing Dad changed it to Crashing Dad instead of The Crashing Dad. Fancy pants, you know? Maybe it's time, Josh. Maybe it's time.
I feel like this lighting could be more centered. as
Jesus,
well. It's
Kyle.
Or is it better on the side? I'm going to rearrange your studio.
Wait, yeah.
The comments told me to.
Yeah, Crashing Dad, by the way, said that he's got like in-laws coming over or something. Otherwise, the Joey podcast literally would be taking over this live stream at the moment. But thankfully, they're not.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'm going to bring this camera closer. Can I do that? Yeah, I like that.
Wide angle.
There you go. Yeah, not daily. Okay, so I got a bone to pick. I know Bobo's new song, by the way, is incredible. If you guys haven't seen it already,
I did cameo in that.
You did cameo in that?
Yeah, I had like 2 fingers and part of a knuckle.
Was
Yeah,
it the
I filmed 2 clips.
It was
that
the
were
crash
in that
footage?
Video. Yeah, one of Shane going over the bars on the horse thief drop in, and one of, if I'm not mistaken, it's BCPOV going down what we call the waterfall on the ribbon, and his bike came for me. It was kind of an attack. I mean, he's Canadian, so it could have been declared an act of war.
Yeah, that's as close as the Canadians get to attacking anybody. So I'm on board with that.
It was aggressive. Yeah.
What is Paul the Punter considered? Because he's not considered a Canadian, right? He's considered a
Englishman. Or he's dual citizen, probably.
yeah. He's a yeah. That's too. I don't know. All right. Anyways, yeah. You guys saw Bobo's. I have a bone to pick with Kyle, by the way. You guys know that whole news broadcast I was on? yeah, that was incredible. This guy has more screen time than me.
True. Yeah, the steeziest riding I've ever done by far.
And not only that, but everybody that saw it probably thought that riding was me.
Yeah, I was singing that. Yep. Yeah, that which I may use to my benefit once I get a little better, and then I can just go, that's not me. Yeah, I was just trying to take credit. That's not me.
Yeah, that was the Calirado Kid.
In my defense on that trail, it was pretty hard to ride because it was literally brand new trail.
Yeah.
First tire tracks on that trail.
And
I was like, the least flattering footage, and it's on the news. Fantastic.
To his credit, also, we were digging all day. Like, he dug more than I did because I was filming the whole damn time. Yeah. So we dug a lot, and then he rode. And but it was still, I liked. There's a reason why I added that little slow motion jump at the end.
Yeah, I know.
Which made the news.
So, as it was building up to that, I was like, don't, and it did, and I was like, okay, all right, it did it. that goofy little.
Okay, so some of the greatest parts that came from that news broadcast that happened earlier in the day and stuff that you guys didn't see behind the scenes. So locally, they broadcast it several times. So I was up at 4 a.m. to get ready for that.
You got me a water?
I got him water too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I had
you even got me a glass.
Yeah, I got him a glass too. I have a green room. All right, I got a green room. So next time when you guys jump on the Calirado Kid live stream, you'll jump in the green room. You'll get a glass. You'll get the whatever whiskey you want. I've got a lot, so you just take hold of whatever you need.
That's straight vodka.
Yeah, straight vodka. So what you guys didn't see is the local news broadcast we did several hits in the morning at like 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. and all that stuff. And there was one, yeah, you saw my notes. They're really intricate. And there was one news broadcast that you guys might not have seen. I think I put a picture on Instagram stories or something. And they basically said something about me being a pro mountain bike rider.
Oh my God. I just remembered a story, and this is way off topic. Okay.
Yeah.
So fun story here. My wife, let's see, where do we begin? So my wife is working at a hospital now, and she's pretty new there. Like, we just moved back out here. So one of her coworkers came up to her and said, is your husband's name Kyle? And she's like, yeah. Does he ride mountain bikes? Yeah. Does he know the Calirado Kid?
No way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we saw him on Calirado Kid's channel, and we started watching him. He's hilarious. And then, so the thing was, my wife has been in one of my videos, and like a small snippet at the end, and they must have watched enough of my videos to see that snippet, recognized her, and then went, and it was like, oh my gosh.
What are the chances?
It was so weird.
God,
that's kind of famous.
That's so good. That's so good.
It was so bizarre. I'm like, what are the odds of that? Like, as small as my channel is, that it came around full circle to her work that she just started.
That's a deep dive.
Yeah.
That's super interesting.
Great. I was like, Joe's going to love this.
I think it's, I can't even tell you how excited I am inside right now. I'm just trying to play it cool because I don't want everybody in chat to think I'm just really all about myself. You know what I mean?
That visual was me inflating your ego.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just want to make sure that's clear.
But it's interesting that the reach that mountain bike YouTubers can have, small, big, whatever it is. All it takes is like one person to randomly like find a video on some random trail or some random thing you did, and they're like, oh man, I really dug that. In fact, here's an interesting story that happened recently while I was crashing and filming out of Nevada City. I was setting up on part of the trail, and I had a camera set up, and the guy stopped, and he stopped, and he was like, hey, are you trying to film yourself? I was like, yeah, it's, and my reaction's always like, yeah, I'm just
so good.
It's just stupid. Yeah, I'm filming myself. I'm just shooting for my channel. I'm making something dumb. You know what I mean? And he's like, hey, like, do you have a channel? I was like, oh yeah, my channel's the Calirado Kid. Which, by the way, when you meet me in public, I'm more humble than I am everywhere else.
Debatable.
Yeah, it's debatable. But I'm like, yeah, I got a YouTube channel. And he's like, whoa, you're the Calirado Kid? And I was like, yeah. But no, he really was like, me and my son are the reason why we're riding here. And like, I never, ever thought anybody was going to say that to me. So that was a weird moment because I didn't actually know how to react on that one. I didn't know I didn't know what the response was going to be. It was like, oh man, that's like so interesting and cool.
That's a big impact for a small channel.
Yeah, abysmally small channel. It's like, it's absurd.
Size has more impact than you might think.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah,
so I hear.
Thanks, Kyle.
Big things, small packages. Too direct.
Kyle, okay, so let's tell the story about how Kyle and I really met. Okay, I'm going to tell you the backstory that you may or may not know about prior to us actually meeting. Okay. So, well, I'm on a trail, and he knows about this. Okay, let's take it even further back.
I've got a backstory too.
We got backstories. The viewers are increasing. Watch, they're going to love this story.
Oh, yeah.
So, I watched the Crashing Dad Shane's video. And it was like the one with you, the final ride with Kyle or whatever, right?
Oh, that was a good one.
And so I watched that video and I was like, at the end, I think he mentioned that you were moving to Sacramento or the Sacramento area, Northern California, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know Shane at the time. I had no relationship with Shane whatsoever. And I reached out to him, like on Instagram. I was like, hey, like that dude's coming here. Like, let me know if you need me to show him around.
I saw the comment and I did not respond to it.
I know.
Because I'm not gonna lie, there was several people who did that, and I was like, I'm skeptical of riding with people.
And this is even before I started my channel, I think. So I was like, I'm just like, hey, like whatever. I'm here in the area. I mildly know what I'm doing. So I read, it was just a comment on the YouTube channel. Huh? That's not how you really do it. You got to reach out to them.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure I'll run into everyone anyway.
Yeah. So then you can start to the next part of your story. Okay, before we get to your part of the story, by the way, Charlie Hicks, $9.99, you maniac. Thank you, man. I really do appreciate you. Who is my absolute favorite mountain bike YouTuber? The one. Are you asking me who my favorite is, or are you saying I'm your favorite? Because I would believe that. But if you're asking who my favorite is, I'm going to offend a lot of people if I answer that in chat tonight. But I will DM you, Charlie. You and me, we're going to talk. I don't want to say it out loud because Josh is going to get mad for sure. Okay, there. So tell me your part of the story, Kyle.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, I saw your comment. I didn't really think much of it. Oh, I see what's going on here. I was like, what are you doing? I'm trying to follow your mouse. I'm getting confused. Yeah. It's great. Where were we talking about? So Yeah, so I saw that comment, didn't really think much of it because several people actually commented. And then, so I think the first time I saw anything of you video-wise was when you went to Grand Junction and rode with my friends, which anytime my friends are in videos, I watch those videos.
Yep.
And first of all, the Monty Python reference was fantastic. I love that
Thank you.
more than anything. So the thing was, so I watched that video, and the first thing I did was texted Shane, and I was like, is this dude that obnoxious all the time or just on the camera? It's like, is he really puffing it up that much, or is he just weird? Because I mean, it's cool if he's just weird. But I was like, man, this dude's trying hard for a 300 sub channel. And Shane's like, no, dude, that's just how he is. I was like, oh, okay, cool, okay. And then, do you want to lead into the actually how we physically met?
We're going to transition to that, but first, you guys, tonight, by the way, I know sometimes that on this channel, we just randomly throw in giant YouTubers. Tonight's not that night. I kind of wanted to spend some time highlighting some of the smaller YouTubers, people that, you know, are coming up in the game that I see a lot of talent in. And this particular person recently started just really elevating his jumping game, and he was documenting it, and I found it super interesting, so I wanted to reach out to him. And like I said, this is good. This is going to be an interesting topic to talk about, and I want you guys to say hello to this. He's getting started in the game.
I've seen this guy before once,
but we're going to introduce him right now. Here we go. He's just getting introduced into the game, and I want you guys to welcome him in. Hey,
am I in? Oh,
you're
wow.
in. Welcome in. Hey, Brian, what's up, buddy?
Do I sound good? Do I
You sound
good
excellent.
In this thing?
I have zero audio.
Good.
What camera are you using? You got great bokeh.
Dude, I've got a whole setup here. I was hoping you would ask, because there's my setup right there.
Wow. On the road, too?
What? Yeah.
I have no audio for Brian.
Dude. Okay, you got no audio for Brian. Hold on. I got you.
Hopefully these other
And you got a
folks
full
can hear
mixer.
me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
I got you,
full
Brian. I got you,
thing,
Brian. I'm
baby.
going to figure this out. Hold on. Stand by.
I was so
Pro is,
confused
going to work.
about
So Brian and I are the
unprofessional
ones on
Kyle.
mic right now, and I can't hear him. Can you hear me, Brian?
I can hear Kyle good.
You can hear me. Huh.
Yep.
I wonder.
Well, we got
I thought this guy was a
a
radio
storm
professional.
rolling in.
Okay, I got an idea. Hold on. Stand by.
Oh, we're standing by.
Brian, I'm a professional. I know how to fix this. Watch.
I'm an unprofessional,
got
so that's
this.
my excuse. Whoa.
There. You can hear him now, right?
Hey,
Talk,
I'm
Brian.
here. I'm rolling in.
Yes.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Yes. Okay.
Perfect.
So first of all,
It's
one of
all
the things I wanted to
switching.
talk to you tonight about was tech, because there's a lot of changes that are happening right now that are super interesting, and your channel's been highlighting them, and Paul's been highlighting them. And tech can be like the bane of our existence, but it could also be something that like sets us apart. So it's like really interesting. And you come in with this professional looking setup here right now.
Yeah, so much tone down.
Dude,
And,
I was thinking about it today. I was like unboxing all these toys that I just got, so I had to put them into play. And just thinking about us being, 18 years old in high school, and like what it would have taken, and like stuff was still kind of funky there. I remember listening to podcasts in high school. It's like you would go to the website of someone and you would like download the MP3, and just, it's so fun because it takes so much to like have like get an extra kick out of stuff now, and how this tech is just so, I love it. This is and it's finally working. I've bought other like HDMI things that input it into the camera, and like this thing is like, this is so cool. I just got it today. It's called the ATEM Mini. Changes the game.
Is it a capture card, or is it actually something that's kind of happening?
Basically, so it's a HDMI splitter to USB out. So your computer thinks it's a webcam. So you put all your HDMI inputs into this, and then you can switch. So this is a GoPro. That's a Hero 9. This is a Hero 9. And then this is like my Sony. So I've tried all those capture cards, and the computer just gets overdone. Like it has to process too much. And there's a lightning storm coming through here. This is pretty cool. We might actually hear something. There's like big time warnings and stuff. But yeah, it's like super awesome. It's just this one little deck here that is like pretty cool. It's $300, and
oh yeah,
no,
you just push the buttons. You can do audio follow video. You have a mic. You can do. There's a lot. There's an even bigger one. There's an extreme one, and I am like super jazzed about this because my buddy Terry. I don't know if you saw any of the live stream stuff.
I did. That was incredible. I want to talk about that too. Yeah,
he's awesome. He's super inspirational, and like he's done the pain, the effort to like actually get all this stuff working. Because I've dabbled but I never wanted to like waste the time and waste the money. But when you see someone else who's already done the research, you can piggyback off of that. Just like anyone starting up a channel and seeing, okay, I use this gimbal and I use that and this, and you do it and you try it your own, and oh, it's just so much fun. The potential now is like so cool to see him live stream riding and it actually looked good and sounded good. We're almost there.
So was that the first time that he tried live streaming with actual mics? Because people were blown away. Like the Rode was just
Duo.
handling it perfectly.
I brought the Rode 2 mic. So if you guys are just watching, there's the Rode Wireless Go 2, which allows 2 people to talk. That's what I've been dabbling with in my recent videos. If you're on Patreon, or the jumping video, Rich Drew was mic'd up as well. So I'm still dialing that in, and I flubbed one and like lost a bit of audio and some other stuff. But he had that pre-ordered, but it was back ordered because he ordered it with the lav mic. Yeah, this is super nerdy talk here, but we're in it.
Yeah.
But so I brought that setup, and the first time we tried, it didn't work because I didn't have the mixing on right. I had it on 2 separate audio channels, because that's what you have to do when you do recording with the GoPro. So I can turn people down, turn people up. But when you're live streaming, you need to mix it in together and do the stereo mode, because both people are talking at the same time. You're not going to edit anything out. So like, yeah, it was really cool that both of us could be heard and seen like that. It's just like, wow, it's just a game changer how everything's kind of funky at first, because I had the original Rode Wireless Go, and the distance on it is horrible. Like my brother, and some of those videos that my brother filmed with me in Rockville, the third person stuff, I would ride away 20 yards, like not that far at all. And he's like, oh, it's cutting out. It's cutting out. And the range on these ones is much better, but it does cut out as well. I think, you know, I don't know the protocol or whatever, but it's more line of sight probably than anything.
Line of sight. Yeah. So if you turn your back and things like that, the signal may or may not get interrupted. But from what I understood, they quadrupled the range. Oh, cool. Extra camera angles. Yeah, Brian. I hit a hold on. I gotta hit another button. I'm gonna hit another button.
You know,
so what you want? You
guys are so fancy. You know, Sarah's over there. She's having some popcorn. Oh, did you see the lightning flash? Oh, dang! It was actually pretty decent. We got to turn all the lights back there.
So if you guys are familiar with this, Brian's on the road. He's not in the Nugatorium. He's not in his house. He's on the road. He's in Bentonville, from my understanding. Correct?
Yes.
He's left us already.
Arkansas. I'm here. You can hear me, right?
You can hear me through the headphones.
Yeah, baby. I can walk around, except for I was going to do the wireless mic. I should have done the wireless mic so I could like kind of walk around and stuff.
Dude, how fascinating, dude. I absolutely love it. The problem I ran into when I was trying to use my really, really, really expensive Sony a7S III was that when I hooked it up, basically, like, you have a delay in video and a delay in audio, and trying to figure that out in OBS drove me so crazy I gave up on it.
That's the tough thing. So they said this thing has like audio inputs, and they said don't use them. They said do your like, is my voice off? Is it actually weird? It looks kind of choppy on my end compared to.
This seems like just an internet thing more than anything. I don't think that's I think your quality wise with your switching and your equipment is perfect.
Yeah, but there's no audio off sync or anything like that.
It's pretty close. It's pretty damn close.
I'm talking with my mouth. Yeah, see, that's kind of weird. If it's off at all, it's just kind of odd. But yeah, that sucks. But supposedly you're supposed to do the audio through the camera, and that's supposed to be better. And then the volumes, there's so many things to mess with and play with. But that's exactly right. Like, you have to go on the precipice. You have to go to the frontier to figure it out, because nobody else, if they're not doing it, then you're just going to be light years ahead of them by the time they get there, right? Exactly. And just messing and failing and janking around. And
like, even guys like the Doc, you know that. Even guys like the Doc just had screw up days where shit wasn't working. He'd blame it on Alex, you know?
Yep.
I can blame it on Kyle.
Oh yeah, we got
someone walking in the car.
fake transitions. We got
nice. That's so good.
Yeah.
Hey.
So stupid.
Watch this one, dude. All right, hold on. Let me press the button. Hold on. Yeah,
you got a full wipe in there too. That's awesome.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with Unprofessional Kyle here, but he is the sweetheart of Sacramento now. He used to live in Colorado.
Dude, I was so confused. You guys were telling the story as I was going in, and I was like, I know that I met Unprofessional Kyle at the Sedona Mountain Bike Fest with RC
I'm surprised you remember.
For the first time,
and
you guys like had stickers or something. And I'm like, but wait, Unprofessional Kyle's been hanging out with with Joe, but like, is that Cobra Kyle? No, I met Cobra Kyle. I rode with Cobra Kyle. That's not Cobra Kyle.
different
There's
Kyle.
only like two of us.
You guys
two Kyles
totally
in the
like,
mountain bike
I
YouTube
totally like didn't realize that you moved from Colorado. So that's really
recently.
cool.
Yeah, and I was telling him, basically, like, I found out he was moving. Shane posted that video. He was like, moving to NorCal. I was like, dude, if we talked about, like, early on in the stream, I talked about being, like, an ambassador and being somebody that can shepherd other people. Like, he obviously knew how to ride, but I was like, I like the idea of showing people around. I like the idea of, like, helping them get into the sport and things like that, which is obviously not related to him, but, like, he's coming. How can I help?
Well, that's the thing. So,
Yeah.
I just got into mountain biking when I moved to Colorado. So I like only rode here, I think twice maybe before I moved.
Yeah.
And it was like Granite Bay, and then I rode Forest Hill Divide once, and then like Salmon Falls once. But those were while I was out there still, and I visited. Anyway, so I really learned to ride out in Colorado, and I barely ever rode anything here. So I've been using Robert mainly, but you as well.
Yeah.
To help me.
The reason why we met, and you're going to like this story, I'm going to keep it short for you, Brian, because your time is limited, and I know that. All right. So look, we met one day when I was out in Auburn. Okay. I was riding in the morning by myself. I just randomly I don't plan anything. So I just go out there, just that moment, and I get to Auburn, and I'm doing culvert, back up, like just that loop, right? Taking shortcut or whatever. And so I started culvert. I run into these guys. They jump out like, hey, do you have a YouTube channel? I'm like, oh, it's
riding
Robert.
with Robert. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like really great for a second. And then I realized like they knew who I was. So it wasn't as impressive.
Yeah. I did that to Mo and Hannah when I was in St. George. We were rolling up and I like went out the window. I was like, is that Mo Awesome from YouTube? And like he was with a legit crew of people. And then they're like looking and they're looking. I'm like, yeah, it's me.
Oh, that guy's way more famous than you, Mo. Get out of here.
Sorry for a quick No Front Brakes was asking what product is it. It's called the ATEM Mini, ATEM Mini. Google it and pretty legit. It's different than the switching thing, the Stream Deck thing. So it's kind of, you can use both, and this is more for just the video switching stuff.
So, basically the story is I'm doing this loop, right? I start at the top.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Beautiful.
Brilliant. And so I come back up to the top and these guys pull up. They're shuttling. So they just pull up again, jump out of the car like, oh, hey, Jay, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's
number
up?
like 4.
Yeah. They're already on 4 runs. I'm like, all right, I'm going down again. See you guys at the bottom. All right, I'll see you guys. And then I'm climbing back up the road and I run into them again and again and again and again, over and over. And then finally they find me mid-road and they're like, do you want to just ride with us, man? Like, this is the first time riding with Robert Biker and Robert riding with Kyle. And they realized I wasn't a complete idiot, only like a mild.
We were like, that climbing stuff doesn't look very fun. You sure don't want to get in the truck and we've got candy in here if you want to get in.
The mustache.
Squeeze between us. There was a lot of us in that truck. It was intimate.
Mustache rides.
Don't tell Sarah. All right, so we're talking about technology, and I love the idea of this Rode Wireless too. And she can jump in at any point, by the way. I actually invited her first, but she said no. So then I reached out to you. So that's not. So the Rode Wireless Go 2, you're starting to see it pop up. Like, this is a game. If you guys aren't familiar in chat, this is a game changer for mountain bike videos because you can now capture audio of the other person, which is something that has been the constant struggle of mountain bike YouTubers for a very, very long time. So, I mean, to see it in action, I bought it like at day one. As soon as I could get it, I got it. And then I know Paul's using it. And you got it. Yeah.
I was totally on the fence because I was like, I don't know. I don't want to introduce another thing in. So one thing I'm kind of struggling with at the moment, the battery life on the last ride wasn't that good because I turned on the onboard recording. So I think the onboard recording drains because I went on a ride with Sarah. We were out there for 5 hours and the battery was like, maybe 10% left or whatever, however much it was. But I was like, oh my God, this is going to work for everything. I don't even have to think about the battery. But it's also possible that my charging got messed up. So I have to go back and just go on another ride and see, because that backup recording thing, pretty useful, because I did not have it on when I rode with Terry Berenson at Mount Nebo and kind of screwed something up. And I haven't got to edit that video yet. And I'm kind of worried about how crappy it's going to sound, but just in certain parts. But yeah. And then otherwise you could run 2 GoPros with the same exact settings and everything, make the person in front of you record, make sure all the timestamps are the same, dump all the footage in, kill the footage or use the footage. And you could get people talking also, but it's like, oh my God, more batteries to switch, more stuff to edit up. So like this being directly into the GoPro and on, it's pretty good.
Now, have you noticed, okay, with compression and whatever, I don't know that they have processing built into these things, but like, how's the consistency with like the end product? Like, is it still just like feeling it out, or is there more granular gain control? We talked about it a little bit.
There is. So there's like some kind of firmware update control that you can get in there, and you can mess with a lot more, but I'm still playing with it. There's one thing that I have definitely noticed is like, if two people are talking, one person talks loud, it kind of dips the volume on the other person's. But then sometimes I didn't notice that. So it's very interesting to like what's happening, because the problem is I've recorded these rides and I go, and I haven't had any time to edit. So now today I actually had time to edit. And so I'm like learning what's weird and what's different with the audio. It's like, it's the worst possible thing. I should be going out, listening, checking, and not releasing that. But I don't have time for that. So I'm like totally like pants on fire on the fly. That's why I never change anything in my equipment, because I don't have as much time to just like mess around and test stuff. So there's some weird stuff for sure, but I'm pretty happy. It's pretty good.
Dude, it literally is a game changer. Being able to hear the other person like clearly, even if it's like a small amount of distortion here and there, it's still ironing out the bugs. And I will say that Rode is a company that it will support. And if they're ironing out, they're releasing patches, they're always doing something. So it's pretty awesome. I dig it. I dig it.
I know, and it's funny because you want it to be perfect. Like everyone, when they yell, they're yelling back to talk to you. So it's always going to peak. And that's part of it. It's not perfect. I don't know if it records with that 32 float or whatever that has no peaking. Basically, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I'm not going to go in and every single audio file, pull that audio file, only if something fails. But it's pretty good. Even if you feel like, oh man, that's not as good as it used to be, just having the audio, having the interaction, having Sarah go, oh, snakes. Like it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So you're out in Bentonville, and I'm curious because the most recent video is all about jumps, and it's something that's been the bane of your existence for your mountain bike career, basically. And so it's something that I'm completely terrible at also. And it's interesting. You talk about like repetition. Repetition is key. And like in normal trail systems, you don't always see jumps. You see it a lot of bike parks and things like that, but like you don't always see tabletops on a trail, especially like stuff like we're doing in Crested Butte or whatever else. It's riding. Like, so it has to be purpose built. And you don't always get to see it, and it's funny that people would still give you crap for not jumping. But anyways, like what was it? What was it like? I mean, did you like actually? It seemed like you like really got some good progression there.
I did feel way better because in that controlled environment where we had the MTB hopper and you just hit it, you hit it, and you started to feel better. But then there's certain jumps where I don't know what I did, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna crash. And then certain jumps I don't know what I did, and it felt perfect. So it's still at that point where it's like, I don't know what's really happening.
I also feel like you kind of hit a plateau with jumping. Like you can only progress so much in a day, especially with jumping, because like the more you hit the same jumps, you start to do everything like you just mimic, and it's like it's really hard to like break
You're
out.
Locked in. You're not actually learning.
And sometimes I just need to take a break, and I end up coming back with a different kind of. My muscle memory is kind of loosened up, and I come at it again, and then that's kind of it. You need to progress over time. It's just like wheelies. Like you can't learn wheelies in a day.
It's funny that like, you know, can you hear that thunder? Probably not. But
I did actually. We actually heard that.
The getting bagged on because the jump. It's like in NorCal, you wouldn't believe it, but we just don't have jumps. It's out there. There are like Angwin. There's people building, but like
this is Angwin.
The majority of trails, it's just trail. It's tough tech. You're going down. It's like a city park. But here, everything is store-bought trails. So everything's like, oh, let's make a fun thing here. Let's make a thing here. And so every time you go out and ride, you're getting practice. Whether you like it or not, there's always jumps. There's always tabletops. And so just having that, if I would have had that over the past 15 years of riding or however long I've been riding, you know, I'd be a little bit further.
It's harder to learn when you're just trail riding though, because like most trails, I mean, every single jump's gonna be a little different. And if you're going to even if you're doing laps, like you're only gonna hit the same jump a couple times realistically. And what's great is if you're in Colorado and you go up to Snowmass Bike Park, there's two downhill runs there. One called Valkyrie, which is a blue jump trail, and it's a smaller version of Valhalla, which is a black diamond jump trail, and they're both fantastic. They're almost identical in like the way that they're built and flowy, and they're built in a way that the speed is perfect to carry you through every jump. But they're pretty much all tabletop. Some of them kind of step down or up, but every single one of them is caseable, and so you start kind of small at the top, and then they progressively
Yeah.
get bigger, longer, and you could you start to clear some, and then you land on the table for some, and it's like it's one of those things where you start at the beginning of the day at one point, and then at the end of the day you're on another level. Like you've improved so much in one day because you just go on
That's
those
awesome.
2 trails. It's fantastic.
That's really cool. That's what I love. I saw Bike Som in the chat saying we need to make jumps at Rockville with Ian Massey. Rockville has several places. Rockville has several places where it slopes perfectly, where you could totally build a real jump line, like legit, like get it done with the city and all that stuff. That would be an awesome bike skills park and draw people in, drops and jumps and that kind of stuff. And maybe someday I'm hopefully working with the ranger a little bit. I've had a couple ideas. I've gone back and forth, and she has to put it up to her boss, but at least it's a city park. So there's not like 1,000 levels of bureaucracy and different things.
Yeah.
Rockville's been pretty good about that. It is a mountain biker park. And I was even talking to Terry's the ranger there. She's like, I'm retiring in a couple years. I don't know if the next ranger is going to be as amenable to mountain bikes. It's like, oh my God, please don't say that.
Man, they're so cool.
Club. We have no organization whatsoever. We have no. It's like where I live, like Vallejo, like you guys. MTB NorCal at least is getting started. At least it's something. At least there's Fat Track. There's, Bonk. There's like actual real organization. We have Mountain Bikers of East Bay, Bicycle Trails Council of the East Bay, which is trying to kind of get going. It's been nothing for the past 15 years that I've been here. So like, I really, really hope that those guys get going, and I want to be a part of it. But it's so weird where we are. It's so weird because then Napa, there's people at Skyline in Napa. There's
tons of stuff in Napa. No, Skyline's privately owned, right?
It is. It is privately owned, but it's like a city park, but it's privately owned, and I think there's a decent community of trail work and helpers and that kind of stuff. It's like the Redwood Empire Mountain Bike Alliance, I think, is kind of the people. How's my bald spot looking? How's my wig looking?
There it is. Dude, I mean, like, yeah, it is really interesting. Bike Som and I were talking about the other day. We were riding Rockville. He's like, oh, by the way, look over there on that ridge line. That's Skyline. And I was like, for whatever reason, I never noticed that. And like, he was like, how cool would it be if there was a trail just connecting the two? And I mean, who knows? Because there's some private land between the two.
That actually is in the plans for the Bay Area Ridge Trail to actually connect. And, just like every plan, it takes a long time. But if you look at Google Earth and you look at the maps, like I actually have this OnX hunt, which shows the land lines and who owns what land. The city of Vallejo owns like a big chunk that's in Fairfield because it's like water rights or whatever that could almost directly connect from Skyline up and over, and then maybe have to cut through someone's backyard and like get permission from property. And then there's the Rockville Trails, which is across from Rockville. Like it's all there, way closer than you would ever believe. But the bureaucracy of that is like so tough to like give someone permission to cut trails through your land, which isn't as crazy as you think, because if you allow a trail through your land and you don't invite people onto your land, it's just a trail that goes through, you have no liability. There's like a California law because it wants to encourage like easements and stuff like that to happen. But of course, as a landowner, you're like, okay, are people going to be drinking and throwing garbage and all that stuff? But like for a trail like that, it's going to be so rarely used that people connect from Skyline down to Rockville and all that stuff.
Bunch of Lycra bros are going to be coming. Those XC guys. You don't like those XC guys.
No, we hate them. We definitely hate the XC.
Some of the new trails going in over by Salmon Falls, they actually share some land with the privately owned land next to it. And they've talked about that I think I'm not sure if the trails are actually on the private property itself, but like you can walk right across between what ARC owns and what's private and not have a clue of what's what. And there's kind of an agreement between them.
Yeah.
And
I've learned quite a bit talking to those guys like Fat Track and the guys that are on the board of Fat Track and stuff like that. And it's funny how the longer you're in the sport, the more you like get involved. And it's been such a fun process because I ask them every question I possibly can. I'm like, what's the story of this land? Who has it? They're like,
to understand it.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so American River Conservancy bought the acreage, and then they're letting Fat Track, they're letting Mother Lode Trails Stewardship. They're doing the builds. And they were talking about how it's interesting because they want to build that relationship. So it's like Fat Track's like, if we can build these multi-purpose trails, these multi-use trails, and we could do it fast, like with volunteers, like they're doing right now. And I've been on 3 trail days out there since because it's super fun. And then once they can get that trust built, then there's all these gnarlier sections that they could be building up there. And it's like, wow, then we can really have free reign of this territory. And he's like, there's another place that's like 7,000 acres that they could get access to. And it's like, whoa, that's where the Disneyland
amazing
stuff is, by the way. So it's all going to link together. All of it.
Yeah, it's actually really humbling talking to them about that too, because it's like the money that they raise, they pay for that land. Like, I mean, American River Conservancy, which does have RC in it, Outdoor Gold RC. You know, that's a bigger organization than just mountain biking. But they pay for that land to build on it for us, and it's like. It's humbling because if you don't know anything about that, you just kind of think that the mountain bike trails are there because they're there, and you don't really think too much into why they're there or whatever. And it's like it's actually really, I mean, it's altruistic for them to be building trails out there. And
definitely,
like, we should all be very thankful.
That's the culture of the Bay Area, at least where I live. In Fairfield, it's all just city parks. It's all who knows. Like there are trail days, but it's so weirdly under the radar, and especially like Crockett Hills, East Bay Parks. It's all just it's there. One day it shows up, and they're not allowed to work on the trails unless a certain thing happens. Like there's so many weird roadblocks and friction that you're just like, I just show up, I ride, and I go home. That's what I do, and that's how it's always been. And you just there's no ethos of that. Hey, you ride here? Let's take care of it. Let's be a part of this. This is ours.
And that's what I thought was interesting. The first time that I went, like the first time I really started realizing it was I was up in Nevada City, and we ran into this guy named Orion, who was like part of one of the trail builders for Hoot. And he started telling me the story behind the trail build. And I was like, wow, I didn't know any of that stuff. So once he kind of explained that to me, I got a little bit more interested in what was going on. And then all of a sudden, it's a snowball effect. I remember going up to Darrington Trail, and we went out there one time, and there was a tree down on the trail. And so I went and bought a saw, and I was like, I got my buddy Todd, who came out and helped me chop the tree down. And my wife, Esperanza, she's like, shouldn't the city do that or something? I'm like, that's not really how it works. Like, and even so, like, who cares? I'm happy to help,
We have to do it,
Yeah, and so we go out there and we chop it down, and now he's also called Todd the Saw. So he's got an awesome nickname, and there's no more tree on the trail. So it's a win-win for everybody.
That's the best. And that's the thing. It's like, even like you posting those things, Bikes On posting those things, it just gets it out there, gets it in our head that it's like, it's ours. We need to take care of it. We need to do this.
And it can go away.
Yeah, that too.
Pretty much all mountain bike trails can just go away. Like,
I feel like I see a post about Santa Cruz every other day about that.
I saw Paul the Punter reshared like a very vague post about like a long thing about Santa Cruz, and it's just like, it's tough. It's so tough because it's a victim of its own success, and it's like you can't expect it to be there forever. Like unless you're actually, no one's organized. It's like 1,000 people ride it on the weekends, but nobody's voting, nobody's forming a coalition, nobody's lobbying. Everybody's just showing up and riding and going home.
It's just Valley go home is all I hear.
There probably are some people doing that, but not the thousands of people that ride it every weekend. And
alternatively, like in Colorado, a lot of the trails are on BLM land, and so it takes local organizations working directly with BLM, not only for the rights to build there, but like it's a whole process. And the other thing is that there are like politicians that want to privatize public lands, and that could literally mean the death of certain trail systems. Like if they want to, like I've heard it about the North Fruita Desert that if they wanted to if they were to be able to privatize that BLM land, because that's all BLM land where North Fruita Desert is, where 18 road trails are, and if they privatize that, that they could just sell it, basically just sell that land to anyone who wants to drill or whatever, and it just goes away just like that. So like there are like political motivations to incidentally take away trails too. Like, so it's important to just kind of be knowledgeable about.
How about that
trail systems?
Palisade Plunge trail coming.
I'm definitely gonna have to make a trip out there.
I hope it's good, because you look at the stats, you're like,
those guys
30
build good
miles
trails.
And 7,000 feet of descent actually doesn't add up for it to be that good. So if it's good, if it's well built and it has a lot of like, because you see in Bentonville, they do 100 feet of elevation. It's like the most fun thing you've ever ridden, but it's like 30 miles, and it's like the math is like,
well, and that's kind of
I'm actually kind of scared.
The whole enchilada Moab's kind of the same. Actually, it's at like 8,000, but somehow I always feel like we're climbing like all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. And yeah, it's
anything
definitely not
built
downhill
today is going to be good. That's the thing. Anything built right now is going to have some good stuff, but I'm still skeptical. I want to be proven wrong. I want to have low expectations actually, because it's like it's starting to rumble and everybody's starting to talk about it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know.
I think it's getting built by, I think the group is Single Track Trails or no.
Yes, which is like,
like they make
one of those other names that's so hard because it's like you Google it doesn't come up.
Yeah,
the logo
like
looks weird. It's like you go to the Instagram, it doesn't say it's a trail building organization, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man.
Branding. I followed the Instagram posts on that though, and it looks good. And I guarantee it may not be like, don't expect it to be 30 miles of just bombing downhill. You know, it's going to be.
No, it can't be.
Trail,
you can't. 7,000 feet is not enough for 30 miles. That's
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Like,
and it's that side of the Grand Valley overlooks the whole Palisade area, which is like the most aesthetically pleasing side of the valley, unless you're into the canyons on the south side, but which I love personally.
Okay, so by the way, as we transition from the Palisade plunge story, I got somebody in chat here that's going to jump right in. He's somebody that you guys probably don't know who the hell he is, but I want you guys to know who the hell he is. He's a connoisseur of dad jokes, and in all genuinitude, this guy's awesome. He's going to come in and just chat with us for a bit. I mean, obviously, we're going to keep talking about what we're talking about, but I want him to jump in here. He's been sitting here for a while. This is a guy named Byron, by the way. He's out in Southern California. Byron from Enlisted Trailheads, the YouTube channel, and good to see you, man.
Hey, thanks, Joe. Thanks for having me on. Brian.
That's a good-looking mic. Where'd you get that from?
You know, it just kind of showed up on my doorstep one day. This guy with a mustache said, hey, are you into YouTube? Do you like to record things? What are you using for audio?
Was it a mustache or a dick beard?
I was like, yeah, it was that's the era of time that we'll find out. I was like, come up to my ice cream van, and here's a mic, just, you know, anyways.
Looks like it's straight from the Joe Rogan
around in the background. It's crazy. But this is all thanks to Joe. So I've only gotten to use it once, though, because life's been crazy, work's been crazy, but
we talk about tech. We're talking about tech earlier, and it's like, it's interesting how just a mic and a small mixer can make a game change with voiceovers. Or so, like, Brian's got this new tech that he's basically like a control room from Tron at this point. He's on the road, so I got a crappy setup I just figured out how to stream from my GoPro Hero 9 like an idiot, and he's over here with switching 14 different camera angles and all this other stuff.
Because this will make your good camera go back into the StreamYard, because that's the limitation with StreamYard, where you can't do the switching and all this, which is awesome. So when you click on a chat in StreamYard, that's the little thing that comes up, which is funny because it looks like the thing that I was using on the previous live streams and stuff, but it's not, right? This is the StreamYard thing when you click on it. Okay. Can you click on somebody's chat again?
So if I go here, let's say, for example, Joe SMR videos. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it will actually resize the screen.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And then I've got a couple options here with this, thing, but I don't play around with it much because who really wants to see like my logo up in the corner? We get it. We know whose channel it is and all this crap. So
I'm kind of surprised you don't have.
Are you paying? You doing a little extra? Are you paying for this?
I pay for 720, and I really want to pay for 1080 because I hate that it blurs our stuff.
Oh, okay. Because I was paying for the whole thing, and then I never used it, and I'm like, I didn't know there's different plans now. So yeah, if you get the ATEM Mini in the scheme of things, then everything starts going back to looking good, and being able to have people drop in like this is like such a game changer. It's so fun to be able to just, hey, joining the stream and hang out and talk like this.
And that's really it. Like having Byron here, it's like the simplicity of being able to send a link and say, hey, jump in, come hang out. And it's just a click and it's boom. You could do it realistically, do it on your cell phone and stuff. Like I was playing around with OBS and all the other stuff. And you guys, if you aren't familiar with live streaming, it's more steps and more things that can go wrong. And the more you involve in your process, the harder it gets. And it's just, so it's one of those things. And it's like, man, I really want to get into OBS. And you see what Doc is doing. And it's inspirational to see like that live stream technology. And I've got this grand idea. Are you guys seeing the lightning still?
Where's he going?
So I don't know if you were here earlier, but he's got a lightning storm going on right now. I saw it in the background, by the way. I didn't want to say anything while he was talking, but you could see the lightning flashes just in the background. You could hear the thunder.
There were some good flashes, yeah.
But I'm in the process of planning this this Christmas live stream, and I've got this elaborate plan in my head. I want mountain bike Christmas songs. I want mountain bike Christmas stories. I want everybody involved. But to do that, StreamYard's not the answer. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. It's just, because OBS is just really good. And so it's just a matter of yeah, the technology's there. Things are evolving for sure, and they can get better and better. All right, guys. It's late here. I'm gonna hit the bed.
Thanks for hanging, man.
What was your name? What was your name again? Enlisted Trailheads.
Byron.
Byron. Sweet. Nice to meet you, Byron.
You too, Brian.
Kyle. Calirado Kid. Mr. Joseph Focht.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out, bud. So I'm going to give a proper introduction to Byron now that BKC is gone, one of the smallest YouTubers I know. People ask me often, how do you know Byron from Listen Trailheads? And I'm going to tell you this is how. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play a video, and you guys are going to get it right away. Trust me.
My son came to me the other day and said, it's really cold in the house. And I told him, hey, why don't you go stand in that corner? I hear it's 90 degrees over there.
Dad jokes!
It's funny if you think about it. All right, guys, whenever you're climbing, it's always important to stop and do stretching.
80s music! Yes!
I'm sensing the theme now, I get it.
Yeah!
Hey, Mark, how many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh?
This is gonna be a long day.
Tentacles!
Oh.
He laughed.
Yes!
He laughed. Hey, Mark. What's a pirate's favorite fast food joint?
I don't know.
What is it?
Arby's!
Arby's?
What's a pirate's favorite fruit?
Yeah. What is it?
An orange! What is a pirate's favorite pet?
It's gonna be a really long day again.
It's just a parrot, man.
It's just a parrot, man. How do I remove this from the screen? There you go. So, I found out about Byron a little while ago, and it's been a while. We chat all the time now, it seems like. And
real quick, do you know what a pirate's favorite letter is?
R.
You'd think it'd be the R, but it's actually the C.
Oh, yes.
yes. Yes. So where are you out of, man? I know you're in Southern California. It's not like you tell me what's going on.
Technically, we're in Central California because you know how everybody in California gets super crazy about where in California they're from. So like I'm from Northern California. And if you're in Northern California, you would never be caught dead in Southern California. And if you're on the Central Coast, you would never be caught dead being called like you're from Central or Southern California. So I currently live in Central California in the San Luis Obispo area. So we're about 4 hours north of LA.
Because I consider so where would you draw the line? Like, to me, I would say San Francisco and up is like Northern California to a certain degree. Like, maybe not quite, but that area, right? The Bay Area.
The Bay Area is its own special place.
Kind of, yeah. But like some people would say like Sacramento's not Northern California. They're like, oh, it's got to be Redding area. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
no.
we call
Redding,
them
Redding area
or
is like the top quarter of the state. That's like Southern Oregon,
Yeah.
I would say Sacramento up is Northern California.
Okay.
Probably from Sacramento down to the Grapevine would be that Central Valley. You come over the coast. That's the Central Coast from probably Monterey is the southern part of the Bay Area. And then you've got down to just above Santa Barbara. That would be the Central Coast. I got a story.
Now
I got stories about Scouts Out.
I'm not going to remember any of this, Byron.
I like to think that like
it's
south of like Galt Elk
California.
Road.
Nobody wants to be there except
I know
the outsider.
My fans are international, so we got to stop talking about California. Let's talk about like Italy a little bit. Let's talk about all that stuff.
All the places
Scouts
you've
Out's
never
in the
been.
chat, by the way, and he says it's going to be a really long day. You heckle him constantly on the trail, from what I understand.
So there will be a video made to like tell everybody what the relationship is between me and Scouts Out. But to dumb it down, he's like my boss's boss. That's pretty much it. But we ride. So me and him, we ride trails every Sunday. That's like the only time that, my wife, who I think is watching probably, lets me go. So we ride trails every Sunday. We both picked up the YouTube thing at the same time, and we just kind of been going with it. And then we kind of heckle each other, but he's a little bit of an introvert. So I have to like kind of bring him out of his shell a little bit and tease him, kind of similar to what you and Kyle got going on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up, Kyle. I'm talking.
John's
All right.
introverted.
So, like that to me is like really relatable because, we talk about like having a family and being able to ride. It's hard to fit in the time for the family and the riding and the filming and the editing and all that stuff. And, people ask like, how do you do it? And they're not, obviously not specifically me, like everybody, like, how do you do it when you have that going on? And it's sacrifice of like things that you actually enjoyed prior to doing editing and filming. It's like, okay, I could go, like, I used to really like playing video games. Like, well, I don't have time for that anymore. I'm just going to spend 3 to 4 hours editing and then fall asleep at 1 a.m. and start the next day. Right. So it's like, or whatever it is, you have to just be willing to give up that thing you really enjoy or whatever to like make it a little bit more time. And it's not in a bad way because I really enjoy the process too. But it's like same thing with writing. It's like, if we could could ride every day, it'd be great. Some people like bike some in chat can ride all day long.
Yeah, like
With
bike and
no
like
recourse.
play golf and what I'm still bike some is still a mystery to me. I'm still trying to figure him out.
Yeah, when you ride with him, he's just going to show us all up. Really, it's basically what he does.
That's
He
what it
shaved his
seems
beard,
like. That's
right?
what it seems like.
Trimmed it down.
He's got long hair.
very
It's
handsome.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
So-
I used to love doing lots of things, and then 1, 2, 3 kids later, and it's just it's hard. I was doing one video a week,
Yeah.
and then that just got work picked up. That got crazy. So now it's 2 videos a month, and I think that's probably going to be the sweet spot for a little while, unless until my kids turn like 18 and leave the house.
Yeah, but here's the truth of the matter. It's like, and Kyle will attest to this, and realistically, like most people will attest to this that have been involved with it long enough, especially Biker. I know he talked about it quite a bit. It's like, schedule's not as important. I know that consistency is important in YouTube's algorithms or whatever they say, but at the end of the day, like, you take the time that you have to do what you can do, and then your creative vision will come through. Like, you see, I spend a little bit more time on my videos now than I did before, and maybe it pays off, maybe it doesn't, but I don't feel pressure to have it out every Monday or whatever else. It's just like, I got a fun idea, let's put it together and let's get it out there. You know what I mean?
And I kind of deserved this. I just got back from a work trip probably like 5 days ago, and I hadn't put any content out. It's probably been 3 weeks now, but the views are still coming in. The subscribers are still coming in.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it was me, it was like that personal drive you have to like, oh, got to put something out. Like not everybody can be like Seth Bikehax or BKXC or,
But that's kind of the best part is like, we all have our own idea of what the sport is. And to me, that's what's fascinating because like, it's not just like my singular view. You've got a guy like Josh, who was in here earlier from sometimes not daily MTB, sometimes MTB, right?
Like every other day MTB?
Every now and then MTB.
Once a week MTB?
Yeah. And, his videos or his style is very different than what Kyle's is going to be, what mine's going to be, what yours is going to be. So I always appreciate that. I know I like seeing people's visions, and I always tell people I love just bouncing around the old interwebs and seeing what people are doing and see what people are up to. And then, sometimes I reach out, or somebody reaches out to me like, Paul's really great, and he's probably not in chat anymore. That's why I can always talk a little crap about him when we get later in the evening because he gives up on me. But he's really great about telling me all the things wrong with what my videos. And so that constructive criticism is also very good.
You need that.
You need it. It's like I never take that stuff to heart. It's always like, okay, well, you shouldn't have done that. You should have done this. Here's how to improve, whatever. And if you have somebody like that can push you a little bit harder, that's when you start to improve. It's like,
and sometimes it's like if people aren't telling you what you're doing wrong, you start to think that there's just so much going wrong that they don't think they can help you because like you're gonna do something wrong. So it's like if they don't have any suggestions, then it's just the whole thing. It's just
like Byron, for example, with my videos, I've got like, if you look at the like versus dislike ratio, it's basically 100% likes. Okay, so I mean, it's going to my head. That's what's happening.
I don't even pay attention to analytics anymore. I don't know how to read that. Like you have to have like a degree in economics these days to understand what YouTube is trying to tell you. I don't know. I was gonna mention, you were talking about your guys' little expose with Mark S. Allen. Yep. And I remember as a kid in Northern California seeing Mark S. Allen on the local news stations. Like, oh wow. Yeah. And then I saw him on your thing. I was like, he has not aged a bit. He has not aged a day. Nope. I don't know what fountain of youth he stole, but he has got something going on.
Honestly, like I didn't realize how wide stretching. And we're going to talk about dirt days and stuff in chat. You guys are awesome. We're going to cover what you guys want to talk about in a second. If you guys aren't familiar with Marcus Allen, he's kind of a local legend in the Sacramento area, and he's branched out. I did not realize. So here's the real story about that news broadcast. I was going to actually make a video at that too. I brought my camera. I filmed an intro. I did a bunch of stuff. But by the time we got out there, him and I just ended up talking. Like basically between every broadcast and tease, we were just talking about the industry. He's done film production on like 3 or 4 different movies. I didn't realize one of them had Jerry O'Connell and some other people in it, which you guys may be younger not to know who he is, but he was big for a while.
Sliders.
There. Yep, exactly. So, he's produced 3 to 4 movies, and he continues to produce movies. He's doing local broadcasts. He does movie reviews. So, like right after he interviewed me, he went and interviewed people for the King Kong versus Godzilla movie. So it's, he's a guy who's into everything. And so it was cool just to talk to him and learn about what he was into and how it all worked. And so that's the reason why I didn't make. I was, like I said, I was planning on making a behind the scenes of the news broadcast, but we ended up just talking, and it was like more valuable to me than making a video. So we could always talk about that stuff somewhere else. So, Yeah, super interesting.
Oh no! Oh, I just
Oh,
kicked my
no!
camera. I kicked my camera over. Quality.
And
Okay.
it's better than bad quality or bad internet, right, Kyle?
I was actually really worried about that.
So I
I
hear.
tell my kids not to watch any TV right now.
Yeah. What's their? Oh, it's 8 o'clock, so they're probably not in
Oh,
bed
they're
yet.
done. Yeah, they're done. I put them down at 7:30. I was like, hold on, Daddy needs to prep for TV.
That sounds intense. You put them down. That's military speak right there. Are you in the military?
It is. I am. So I'm about this May it'll be 10 years in the Army National Guard. I've been active duty for about 7 of those years. So it's been a crazy ride. Never thought I would see myself in the military, but it's been a good time. Can't complain. You know,
That's awesome.
all your guys' tax dollars have more or less bought everything that has allowed me to do this live stream. So
that's why he's
fun.
so clean shaven. By the way, that's why he doesn't have a creepy mustache like I do.
I so wish I had a beard. It would be so much more majestic than yours.
I wish I had a beard too.
Well,
My
you
face
can
is
grow a
cold.
mustache, technically.
Yeah, is that
I
true?
could, but my wife would never touch me again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
You
wife.
gotta have it like within the lips too, right?
I do. So I have very orange facial hair, and
Yeah.
if I grow it within the lips, you can't see like this. You only see down the middle, so it just comes out looking like a Hitler stash. And I'm like, no,
Like a Hitler
I'm not
leprechaun.
there yet.
Yeah, you can't take it to that level. That's something. That's a mustache style that's been ruined for all eternity. Unfortunately, not unfortunately. It's not that good looking. It's not
still not that
unfortunate,
good.
but you get the point. You get the point. Yes. So I remember you sending me something. Basically, it was you don't know about this, but he sent me once when I put out a new video. It might have been the release of Trailhead Troopers. He sent me a picture of like he had it up on the big screen for his class or something. And
I did.
Is that true?
I did.
Yeah.
I made I had a class of, I think it was 14 at that time. And I sat him down at the end of a training day. I said, for the end of class, you are all going to sit here. You're going to watch this and you're going to enjoy it. I didn't realize it was like 25 minutes long. I thought it was just like 10 minutes of normal Joe. And then like 15 minutes rolls around. Like one guy's like racked out in the corner. He's just done for the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll pick up part 2 tomorrow, guys. Part 2 tomorrow. And they're like, yay.
Yeah, the truth is I was really hyped about that video, obviously, like so the Trailhead Trooper video. I was like, we had so much fun filming it, and so like I edited that way faster than I should have edited it. Not should have it, but like I was so into it, I was nonstop. It was so fun, like editing it and doing it and everything. So it's like it came together quicker than expected. I was expecting to have to edit for longer, but I was just so into it. And then I was telling somebody like how excited I was to release it. I was like, I got this video coming out tomorrow. And it wasn't a mountain biking guy. It was somebody, we were at a whiskey tasting or something, right? And I was telling him, I was like, dude, I'm so juiced about this video I put together. And I was like, man, it's so good. It's so good. And he's like, well, put it on the big screen. And I'm like, no,
Check it out.
no. I'm like, unless you understand what it is, like I'm gonna look like a complete
It
buffoon.
needs context.
Yeah. I'm like, you kind of at least gotta like mountain biking to a certain degree.
I do think that going forward, we need to have at least like a bare bones script, like something for everyone to understand kind of where it's going.
There wasn't
like,
any
I mean,
script.
it was literally 100% improv.
Oh,
Like,
100% improv. And that's what I don't think people understood with that video is like that was filmed in about 3 hours, all improvised, but I wanted
none of us are actors.
No. And that's why some people gave us shit for our acting abilities, but I'm like, none of us are actors. The point is, like, it was supposed to be because I think the Reno 911 style, we had a basic synopsis for scenes. I kind of like had an idea and I'd bounce it off of them and we put it together quick. But yeah, I've got to really
That's even maybe more giving it more credit than it does. It was like 20 seconds of Joe saying, "Oh, kind of we're gonna do like this and this, and go." Okay.
That's kind of true.
I could see more explanation coming from the hands than actual words that are coming out.
Oh, for sure. I can't focus when I see the mustache just twitching. That's all I can pay attention to.
I know. I'm debating on cutting a flat top for the next video.
Yeah, he said he was gonna do that the first
do
time. We all
it.
told him to, and he again.
I didn't commit. So the point is, in the long run for that series, I envision lots and lots of cameos across the mountain bike community. But we got to film episode 2, and so they're hassling me to start filming that soon. And I've got an idea for the intro. I think so. And we could have people from all across. I think I reached out to you. I was like, hey, what are you doing this day? But you're like 8 hours away or something.
Yeah,
6 hours.
well, I think you reached out like day of like, hey, we're gonna come down and do this. Are you available? I was like, no, I'm kind of busy at the moment. You're like, okay, no, it's okay. We're gonna do it anyway, so it's fine.
No, I don't know. That was a different video, I think. Yeah. So basically, Bikesum and I were planning this trip. I found out basically that the wife and kids were like, oh, we're gonna go down to wherever to visit family. And I was like, okay, well, I got a free 2 days. Like, what can I do for the weekend? And I think what ended up happening is that was my last live stream. So it led into that weekend, and then travel and stuff after that was going to be tricky. I ended up doing the last live stream that I did was that Friday, and I was like, I had these grand ambitions of going out of town, and then you look at like a 6 to 8 hour drive time, like I get off early Friday, cool, but then you get there at night, you can ride Saturday, and then you got to book it. So I was like, it didn't end up working out. The live stream turned out great and all that stuff, but yeah, that's really, people need to understand, like, my poor planning is that's, it just goes, it's systemic. Like I will literally get in my car and I'll be like, where am I riding today? So when people give me shit for like not like inviting them on a ride, that's really what's happening. It's not to slight anybody. It's because I'm thinking so far ahead.
I tried to make an impulse run down to Southern California back in like February, and I got in contact with MTB Allen, who I don't see in the chat. And he said he'll show me around the area, but yeah, that just didn't work out. And here we are. It's April already, and
you know, if you come down on the Central Coast, it's half the drive time, and we've got some good stuff. Tony the Outsider, he's come up a couple times and rode with me and Scouts Out, and it's been a really good time. You know, he's a super cool dude. So if you ever get the chance to ride with him, I really
because he copied my Sky Dio. No,
he gave you credit for it though. He gave you credit.
I talked to him. I talked to him about it ahead of time. Yeah, no, he's a super cool guy. He's been putting out great stuff. He continues to do so. Super professional about it and everything. It's he's awesome. I don't know if you remember, you were around. We talked about it earlier about the random live stream I jumped into.
Yes,
that
was the best one ever.
It was a hidden gem that I don't think a lot of people were familiar with, because this is right after the whole Dickbeard saga. Basically, I was in the process of filming that. I was in Arizona at the time in a hotel room, and I had gone to the barbershop. I had reached out to them. They had carved this thing into my face, and then all of a sudden, like, for whatever reason, Tony and MTB Allen are like, hey, you want to jump in? Because I was in chat, and I was like, okay. I mean, I had a laptop and I had a webcam, and that was about it. But I was like, I can't reveal this, because the whole point of the video was to reveal it in such a dramatic fashion. So I put on a face mask, right? Because I had a face mask, and I get the camera and I cover half my face the whole time. So I'm literally on the live stream like this with these guys, like, what's up, guys? Like, I can't reveal anything, you know? They didn't know what to expect. Yeah, they didn't know what to expect. I don't think
a dick on my face.
Yeah,
I don't see. Yeah,
I don't think people are prepared for me when I come in, and like that's why I feel bad sometimes. Somebody's about to jump in here, by the way. I'm going to give him a good introduction, but that's why I feel bad about jumping on people's live streams sometimes, because I immediately want to take over. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk a lot.
I was distracted by some sexy face down. That's about to
yeah, so there's somebody here that rivals my good looks, and he's got long hair. He is a better golfer than Paul the punter, and he is a better rider in every way. In fact, whenever I ride with this guy, he purposely slows down to not only get on camera, but to look good doing it. So here it is. You guys know this guy. He's a local guy, and this is your chance, Byron, to meet the legendary Bike Psalm.
Oh, those glorious locks.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Okay.
Yeah. You look good.
Right
So,
on. Thanks for having me. And,
just right off
I
the
don't know
bat.
what you're talking about, but I don't see that guy in here that you're.
Oh, the handsome. Yeah.
Man, I'm jealous of your beard right now. My face is real cold, although it's getting warm out here. So now your face has got to be toasty.
So hey, I'm curious, Jay. I've never known why Bike Psalm. Do you have any sommelier experience, or just
Sure,
is it
I
just
can
the
tell
pun?
you this story. Actually, no, I have none. My brother's a wine somm.
I do have an introductory to sommelier certificate, which you can get in a day.
Oh, you
So
do?
kind of a big deal.
I just thought you drank a bunch of wine and you're a snob.
I actually don't like wine. I did it because it was free and my work paid for it, and I was like,
I just drank it
I'm
'cause there
literally
was
getting paid
alcohol.
by the hour to. It's fantastic.
Yeah. No, the whole bike somm thing started because I was giving a tour to some guys on, it was Angwin's property, and just some guys that were staying at Meadowood. They wanted me to give them a bike tour, show them around the property, and just everything that they asked about bikes, I had a question or an answer to that would help them understand the bike better. And he's like, dude, you're like a bike somm. You know everything about these things. You
Mm-hmm.
Some names make
any flavor
themselves.
of any bike on the planet. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good
Perfect.
name. I think I'm just going to run with it.
Bike Psalm. He'll show you around. In fact, he does that quite often for many people. He showed me around in a lot of different places. He actually took me when we went to Skyline. We rode it like I'd never ridden it before. When you took me out there, by the way, if you guys aren't familiar with Skyline, it's a smaller park, but it's I guess it's similar in size to Rockville. Would you say?
It's a little taller.
Okay, so you got a little bit more elevation.
It's
But
not
when we
quite
rode
so
it,
hand down, but it's very similar terrain because the rocks are pretty much the back door to Rockville. So
yeah. So
Yeah.
we climb up, and I've ridden this place several times, but I never felt like, it was still great. You get an amazing view when you make this final climb up. You get to a mountaintop. It's a tippity top of a mountaintop, which is more like a hill. But when we came down, what was the name of the trail that starts with a B? It's
that's Buckeye.
Buckeye. Okay, so
Yeah.
I had never ridden this section of Buckeye, and this is maybe the first and only time, because we were talking about trail etiquette earlier, by the way. This is maybe the first and only time that I came hauling ass down a trail following Jay, and I did not pull over for the hikers. I barreled right through their asses. Like, I was so into the ride, you guys know what that is, right? Like, just I like, usually I'm trying to be very conscientious, and I was just having so much damn fun that I didn't stop. I didn't get out of the way. I didn't even say one back. I just kept riding. I was just we just got down to the bottom. I was like, wow, dude, I had never ridden it like that. I don't know if I ever rode that particular section of Buckeye. So it was really fun, man. It was super interesting.
I've tried to yell sorry on the way past people sometimes. I'm like, sorry, but I couldn't stop if I wanted to.
So Byron, go ahead. Sorry, Jay. I want to say bike some, but I should just call you Jay.
No, I feel like Buckeye is such a narrow section of trail. I got my cats jumping behind me here. They want to be on the live stream, but
I don't blame them.
Normally, if you're the guy in the front and you yell out, and they get out of the way, at least let everybody know how many people are behind you. That's my number one tip for trail etiquette. Is if you're gonna come down the trail and they're gonna move, at least be courteous enough to let them know who's coming behind you.
That was my one mistake on that one, man. I was so into it, I couldn't even put words into my mouth. You know what I mean?
Well, that's okay. The guy in the front's supposed to do that. So
yeah, that's true.
We have bells on the Central Coast. This is the only area that I've ridden that has bells, and so you attach them to like your handlebar, your pack, or whatever. And as you come down, they do their bell thing. And I was doing a ride in Morro Bay, and I was hauling ass down this trail. Never wear my bell because it's like instant death to any video you want to shoot.
Oh yeah, sure.
The bell the whole time, and I almost ran the same lady over like 3 times. And I always get beat up on that same video for like, oh, you need a bell, you need a bell. I'm like, oh, well, you don't like watching this video then, because otherwise I'm not gonna wear a bell. But I felt so bad. I was like, I'm the worst mountain bike advocate ever. I keep coming into this lady and like trying to run her over. She's probably thinking I'm trying to kill her or something.
Yeah, we've got several trails in our area. You know Eastside, right? We rode Eastside for that final chase and Trailhead Troopers. Like, that's a one-way trail from my understanding. And lately we've been coming up across tons of hikers. So I don't know if we talk about the whole like influx of people with COVID and everything, and people discovered the outdoors again. I don't know if these people know the rules or if they care. Like, in that situation, like, I'm not as courteous because I'm just like, that's dangerous as hell.
Typically, trails are technically supposed to be all two-way. Barring like bike parks, but like technically they're supposed to be accessible both ways, and you're not allowed to like call.
Do they give you guys
trails
bells out there?
They do. So the local mountain bike organization, CCCMBA. I don't know. A whole bunch of C's, M's, and B's. And A's.
There's a bunch of C's and an M, and there's a B in there. I don't know.
It's Central Coast Concerned Mountain Bike Association, but they've done a really good job.
That's way too long. That's a bad name, by the way. Jeez,
way too long. But they've done a good job as far as like making posts and have like little magnet strips, and then they have their own little like bells and stuff that they put up. I think I actually have one around here somewhere. I need to take.
So if you want to be courteous, you can just pick one up and take a
you just pick one up. Most of the trail shops will sell bells. They have got bells that you can like click on and off. They've got like a little locking mechanism until you crash once, and then the locking mechanism breaks, and it's just on all the time.
Yeah, the bell lockouts are awesome. You can just turn it on and off.
They are.
Yeah.
Back in Fruta at 18 Road Trails, there's so basically it's the way that the trail system is designed is there's like pretty much one climbing trail, and the rest of them all have signs at the bottom saying this trail is designed as a one-way trail. But technically people can go both ways, and people don't see the signs at the bottom too. And like, man, talk about something that's kind of irritating around tourism season. You get people climbing these trails that are like, dude, this is not a fun trail to climb. And people you're coming over blind hills. It's genuinely sketchy.
Are they wearing Lycra? I got nothing against XC guys. All right, in chat, look, come on, take it easy on me. All right, there you go. Kelsey's asking if there's MTB in Alaska. I don't know. And first of all, I'm impressed that there is a female in chat, because if you look at the statistics on my videos, by the way, I'm not saying this out of context. All right. If you look at the statistics, it's like 100% male. So I don't believe that I have any female fans. I'm assuming Byron or Jay brought Kelsey in.
You're assuming
probably
she identifies as You know.
Ah, God damn it! Now I'm
You're in California.
Sorry.
You gotta be careful.
sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to go on a rant about that. Anyway. So somebody gave me crap one time because I said "ladies and gentlemen" in all my videos, and they're like, "There's no ladies watching your video."
Ladies,
I'm like,
gentlemen, and they.
statistically speaking, you're right. But then I talk to them frequently on Instagram and stuff. So it's like there are people out there. All right. Anyway, sorry that I got that sidetracked. Is there MTB in Alaska? Does any of you guys know?
Hey, us?
No idea.
Anybody?
Anybody?
I wish Brian was still here. Brian would have known. He did ride in Alaska, didn't he? Did he see a moose?
All
I don't-
picture is snow.
I don't think he made it up to. Did he make it up to Alaska? Because I know he didn't make it to
Yeah,
Hawaii.
he rode. He didn't make it to Hawaii. He hit Alaska. So there is, in fact, mountain biking in Alaska.
I bet it's super gorgeous for the 2 months of summer.
Now, has Brian
Not snow,
ever
I should
mountain
say.
biked in Hawaii?
Yeah, he has. He has a video of him in Maui.
Yeah,
Oh.
in 1 year he did.
No way.
Bike in all 50 states.
Yeah.
'Cause I just mountain biked in Oahu, and I want to say that I might have mountain biked in a spot Brian Kennedy has never been, which might be one of my single greatest life achievements next to like my wife and children.
Yeah, but Byron, he also hasn't mountain biked in my front yard, and I did a wheelie out there today. So that means nothing.
Do we have breaking news? RC, are you being serious?
Wait, what did RC say?
He said Kelsey is his girlfriend.
That's not true, RC. And unless it might be true, but unless you jump in this live stream and tell us personally, I'm going to consider it not true. And you have the link in your email, so I don't want to argue about nothing.
Shane and I have a bet on. Oh, never mind. We probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, let's not talk about this. That sounds illegal as hell. Jay, what's this?
We were wondering. I mean, we're very encouraging of RC. We love him, but
Yeah.
I wonder, is
Okay,
there
no,
a favor on
he'll
his life?
let us know. Jump in here, RC, if you want to. Okay, Jay. All right, so
Get on the stream, RC.
most people in chat already know who you are, but we talk about you being a bike some, and I say some all the time, but you correct me as som. My pronunciation's wrong, but what would you say your specialty is? Obviously shredding, but you're kind of in the Napa area, and you cover a lot of ground, man. Like you ride everything, and you know everything, in my opinion.
What's my specialty?
Yeah,
Well, it would be golf.
yeah. Damn it.
But I love
Hey, let's
biking.
talk about golf and just plummet my ratings
Okay,
right
so
now. You want to do that?
Oh yeah, I got
I'm
it.
gonna see. I'm
Hit
gonna
the-
just go
Real
ahead.
quick.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
basically stopped progressing like 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And all the clubs haven't gotten any better. So all the technology and all the marketing that they give you is bogus. If you want to get it better as a golfer, you need to take lessons, or you need to actually, do the work that it takes to be a better golfer. In biking, that's not the case. The bikes are getting better every year. So you could be a terrible bike rider and you can just get a really nice bike and have way more capability than you've ever had before.
Yeah.
At least that's my take.
Yeah, I think
They're
that we
everywhere
can
on the
relate to
trail.
that.
Yeah, they just keep getting better.
It's
Now,
interesting
what?
though. It's interesting
funny
though because they have people they have people out there that will teach you, and I feel like I could benefit because there's probably I look at actually proper riding technique where they're like sink your heels down and get a good riding position. When I rode in Crested Butte in Colorado, they were like, okay, get in the attack position, and I'm riding, but I'm not consciously thinking of what right, the small little details, and I'm like, I really do. I kind of want to get involved, you know what I mean? Like, there's some people like Ian Massey out locally that know quite a bit about this stuff.
Yeah, they do.
But you're right about the technology. The technology in mountain bikes just, it's like crazy where it is now
so I guess
comparatively.
technology is one aspect, and then it just comes down to the rider too. So,
Yep.
Everyone progresses at their own rates, and I grew up racing go-karts when I was like 9 and 10 years old.
Oh,
So I'm
nice.
very used to racing and used to speed. And then I went from the fastest sport in the world to the slowest sport in the world, which is golf. And then, of
Yeah.
course, my parents would never let me get into motocross because my mom's brothers were into motocross and they've broken legs and have metal plates in their body. And
Yeah.
he just said, no, sorry, dude, you're not going to do that. And so biking kind of is my outlet to kind of be into racing again. And then also, I don't know, two wheels is just where it's at. I love it.
I love 2Ls. I actually grew up around short track racing, like Roseville Speedway, and my dad raced there since I was like 18 or eight, just single digit. Yeah, and so I've always loved racing, and I never really had a chance to get into it much. And I got into motorcycles well before mountain biking, and I was like
I'm envious of that.
I kind of like took a step back from motorcycles because I was getting a little too dangerous, and I was like, oh, I'll get into mountain biking. I can still push it, and it's still two wheels, and it was fantastic. And I was hospitalized twice in the first 2 years, so it's like so
Yeah,
much
I've heard
safer.
that mountain biking
Shattered
is
my
just as
clavicle.
dangerous, if not more dangerous than motorcycles.
Yeah,
or
it's
motorcycles.
like the level of injury is lower compared to like a motorcycle accident, but it's more frequent. So it's kind of
until you ride off like a cliff. I mean,
yeah, but you can do it on either.
that's true.
Yeah.
Jay, I've got to ask. Speaking of bike technology, what the heck happened to your seat?
Oh, yeah, what the hell happened there?
yeah.
What? Like, how?
If you guys
Watched that
didn't
like
see,
10 times.
his seats just collapsed. What happened?
Dude, I don't
Power
know,
squat.
man. So this is a.
You know what he did? He squeezed his cheeks together and the seat just went like this. That's what happened.
That's some intense kegling right there.
Yeah, so he kegled the hell out of that seat.
No, I followed this guy probably doing like 25 miles an hour off the worst line possible at the end of Lime Ridge. And at the end of Lime Ridge, it's like the one rock garden that they have on the entire park. And I was going for the biggest rocks possible. My feet blew off the pedals, and all that was left to catch me was the seat. And this seat has an active flex technology. So like it moves 3 to 5 millimeters underneath your sit bones because it's a German saddle that's allows your sit bones to move as they pedal.
Yeah.
So I think that little bit of flex, and I've broken like 4 of these seats. It gave way as soon as, I hit the seat. It was exploded. So.
They call that what's the company WTB? They make saddles, right? That's the WTB Taint Crusher. That's what we're gonna call that saddle. It's gonna sell millions. All right, sell millions. Let's get on it. You could buy Jay. I don't like you. I keep reading your name. I know your goddamn name. I know your name's Jay. What they should do is they should reach out to you and say, "This guy crushed the saddle. He crushed it. This is the guy." You know what I mean?
I am curious.
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt because I did confront them at Sea Otter about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I showed them my broken saddle. They gave me a saddle on the spot and sent me one in the mail.
So what's the company that makes that one?
I'm sorry?
What's the company that makes that one?
SQ Labs.
Oh, okay.
SQ Lab. Yeah. They're a really good company, and it's the only saddle that works for my butt.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad was the butt pain? Like, or also on a scale of 1 to 10, how much insertion?
So there was no blood.
Okay.
And
that's good. That's always a good sign.
Broke perfectly, so there was nothing stuck up through the thing.
I apologize in advance for Kyle's questioning. All right,
Yeah,
this guy. I don't know how he got in here.
That's a reasonable question. Let's be honest.
I was thinking it.
If you're gonna break,
I was thinking it.
You broke a seat with your butt. There are possibilities at hand.
No,
yeah.
And you know what? It could have been carbon rails, and they could have shot through the seat. So I'm actually happy that the thing flexed the way it did.
There you go.
I'm glad it flexed the way it did too, because that was an amazing Instagram post.
Does that like hurt though when the brake seats? I mean, I imagine there's some energy dispersion.
Yeah,
from
no.
braking.
It definitely hurt, but like not near as bad as I thought. And I didn't hit the deck at 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of yeah. There's a lot of pain from smacking your tailbone on things too. I've done that skateboarding, landed straight on my tailbone, and it's like you just gotta lay there. So that's, I mean, that could have hurt a lot worse. Is kind of what I'm.
Yeah, it was actually like I was watching a miracle happen. The seat just bended perfectly for me. Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I want to talk about because we're getting distracted. Thanks a lot, Kyle. X-Checker. Did that happen yet? No, right? That's this. When is that?
Bad internet.
How do you say that?
X-Checker.
X-Checker. He froze. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna discuss this. Okay, so I have in no way, shape, or form have I ever raced in anything, and nor have I really had the desire until recently. Okay, and let me tell you the backstory before Jay introduces us into what's going on. All right, so to me, I'm not a good rider, like not good in any way, and I know Kyle can relate, and Byron can probably relate too, right? Anyways, so. Yeah, I'm not a great rider by any means, so the idea of racing like never even crossed my mind. But now that I see like, okay, so we did a dig day and we actually met some of the organizers of this X-Checker bike park race or whatever it is. And like I see like, and I've seen a bunch of people do videos about their race days, like Semi-Sendy and some other guys. And it seems like an opportunity to hang out, almost like an event versus like, I'm not going to try to win anything. I don't really care about that. Like, I'll be the best looking guy there anyway. So I've already won that. Okay. But Jesus. So what I do like is the idea of just having a blast and hanging out and like actually doing some practice runs and just, it seems like a cool bonding event to like meet and hang out with people and whatever else. And I know that Jay, you're about to jump into this X-Checker race. That did not happen, right? That's happening this weekend?
No, next weekend. So it's
next weekend,
18th of April. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I mean, what's your thought process here? Have you raced much before? Or I don't remember if we talked about that much.
Yeah, I've raced in the California Enduro Series.
Okay.
And my thought process is, I honestly don't care what happens. I'm gonna film the whole thing anyway, so it's gonna be entertainment for you guys.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't have any expectations because I'm a golf pro.
Yeah.
I could care less what happens in biking. You know. It's fun.
Don't say that. You got to be invested. You got to tell everybody it's the most important thing in your life. Otherwise,
no, I'm gonna try and win for sure. Like, who doesn't try to win?
Yeah.
But the main thing is just being able to get through the race, not have any issues, technical issues, like don't pick stupid lines.
Yeah.
And then just controlling yourself and knowing yourself. So you got to go slow to go fast.
Yeah.
And if you know you go through the hardest section, thinking that you got to get through this as fast as you possibly can, you might make a mistake. And it's better not to make mistakes. And it's better to pedal your butt off where you can. To make up the time. So
I feel like you've got the gumption comparable to Dakota tag along. I've blanked on the show. Have you seen tag along Dakota's videos? You guys like you ride kind of similarly. Like how long have you been mountain biking?
I've been riding for about 7 or 8 years.
Okay,
so when I was 26, I started.
Okay, I was thinking you were a little newer. Dakota is phenomenal. Like he hadn't been riding very long, and he just got like fully tilted into it. And you guys have like a kind of similar style.
Yeah.
Byron, have you raced at all? Like,
I have not raced. It's something that I want to do, but I don't know if I should do it on my current bike. It might be something that whenever I do get a bike upgrade, I might do it.
What kind of bike do you have?
I have a 2014 Stump Jumper FSR. Okay. And the thing that gives me pause, it has like a 70-degree head tube angle, and you've really got to be on your toes when you're going down big janky stuff. Because if you're not quick on getting your butt to the rear, it will. Sorry, no joke, but if you don't get your butt to the rear, then you'll
break a seat
over like crazy.
Yeah, when you have cheeks of steel like Jay, yes, you will smash a saddle in between the two of them. Who needs a bidet when you've got a saddle? You know what I mean?
Totally.
No.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Jay,
gonna start Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Sparrows at head between thighs.
That's right. Jay, so I'm riding Georgetown tomorrow. I don't know if anybody in chat's familiar with Georgetown. I've never ridden there before, but okay, here's what happened. Let me tell you a short story because I'm good at telling stories in my own head. So basically, like I had no time whatsoever to get maintenance done on the bike this week. I meant to do it, but I had to fly out for a work trip to North Carolina. You guys saw some of that on Instagram. And so like basically my wheel was not true. I had taken a hit in Granite Bay and it wasn't trued up and some of the spokes were loose. So I tightened them up. But then once I did, the wheel was doing one of these, you know, like when you spin it, you guys know, like non-true, just totally off the ball. And so I was still running a tube from the puncture that I got in Granite Bay, and that's no bueno. And then basically in Nevada City, when I was out filming out there, I totally smashed my shifter, my lever up front, and I could barely shift on that thing. So I took it into Ride BSC today, and I was like, look, I mean, if you guys can't get to it, I totally understand. I got a few hours because I got to go prep for the live stream and all this stuff. And so I take the bike over to Ride BSC, it's a local shop. Those guys, Tyson and Brad, are super cool. And I was like, look, if you can't get to it, great. I'm going to leave it here. You just let me know. I'm going to take the kids to Granite Bay. So we went hiking out at Folsom Lake. And in the meantime, if you can get to it, great. Well, they got it done. They trued the wheel up. They got the new shifter put on, and like everything's running sexy. So I came home and I put on some new rubber. I put on some new tires because basically what he said is if you would have ridden that in Georgetown, you might have died. So I don't know if you've ridden Georgetown. You tell me, Jay.
Well, it's kind of like moto trails. Kyle will probably know how moto trails
I've ridden
are.
it on moto only. Yeah,
Yeah,
not a whole lot. I've only been there
wide.
once.
So it's just how much do you want to be on the brakes?
Yeah.
The less you're on the brakes, the faster you go. The more you're on the brakes. I mean, anybody can ride it. It's technical. It's not above your technical ability, but there's a lot of big boulders and loose stuff. So it's just, I don't know. I mean, at speed, things get a little easier. So yeah, it's just kind of how much do you want to let go of the brakes, I guess.
Well, that's good to know because they threw on new brake pads also. So I'm really happy about all of these things that happened because I'm not going to die tomorrow theoretically. I'm wearing a full face just in case. They said it was gnarly. Anyways, I want to say thank you to Kelsey. Kelsey, thanks for jumping in. Outdoor RC officially confirmed this, by the way, which is probably they're doing Netflix and chill time. And maybe it's Calirado and Bike Some and Illicit Trailhead.
First of all, if she's willing to sit through this stream just for RC, I mean, she's a keeper. I guarantee.
Yeah. What are you trying to say?
Oh,
Can you close the door, buddy? This is Franco, by the way. He just got home. He's in pajamas.
What's
Yeah,
up, Rico?
thanks, guys. Can you guys close the door?
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Much appreciated.
We are his children.
Yes.
They're not anybody else's.
They're not
children.
someone else's children. I have not confirmed, nor can I deny that they're anyone else's children other than mine. Yes. But there you go. Yes. Thank you, Kelsey. Much appreciated. Yeah. If you can put up with this, you can put up with anything. I'm going to put you on screen. You can, wait. Oh, you put a comment down below. Hey.
Oh no.
Beard.
Can we talk about the Dickbeard saga? Or is that now the kids
I
are
would
home? We
love
can't talk
to.
about it.
Oh, yeah.
It was the single greatest mountain biking saga that wasn't mountain biking.
It's going to be their legacy to
was.
live on. So
I am a huge, so we won't talk about it too much, but I am a huge fan of collaboration with other people. I think that, and I've said it before on past live streams, that riding with someone, you can build a relationship so quick. Like, you can go on one ride with somebody and then all of a sudden you've got a friendship. It's like, and it's
now we're in
amazing.
a relationship, yeah.
Yeah, that's,
The wives were okay.
anyways, so it's amazing. Like, if you go on a single ride with somebody, it's amazing how quick something like that can form, and you really get to understand somebody. Like, I haven't had the benefit to ride with Byron yet, but we talk occasionally on Instagram. Jay and I ride as often as we can. We get together, and it's just that first single ride. You might not know somebody, but by the end of that ride, you're like, dude, we're fucking cool. You know what I mean? So it's been a really interesting thing to see. And I love that collaborative process, not just like on a ride, but like if we're YouTubers or if we're whatever, like I like the idea of doing the cameos. Like, so, I mean, obviously Crashing Dad's really good about it, but when we saw the BKXC Crashing Dad scenario that took place, it was super fun, right? Like, because like we're all involved in the same thing, and just seeing these guys like work together and create this funny thing is like, and everybody wants to get involved.
I think it's great when I mean, at this point, YouTube's like social media for mountain bikers, and it's kind of nice because if you see someone or someone's commenting on your stuff and they have videos, you can kind of get an idea of what this person's like, if they're gonna gel with your personality or if they're or not, whatever. And like the Crashing Dad, so Shane and then Outdoor Gold RC, we all kind of met because of YouTube. Like, I commented on one of Shane's videos when he had like hundreds. He had just started his channel, and I was looking at local trails in the area because I had just moved there, and we met because of that. And then we became best friends, basically, like to the point he like officiated my wedding last year, and which was like 4 years or so after we met. And I mean, it's just nice. It's nice having a visual reference. Like, you can kind of like get to know someone without meeting them, because they might be weird, and we've
It's
met
mountain
those
biking
guys
dating
too.
profiles is what it is.
Definitely.
Hey, I want to talk about the fact that before you guys jump into, maybe you guys got some input on this one, but the fact that Terry's here, Terry is absolutely awesome. And we were with BKXC earlier this evening, and we were talking about Terry. We were talking about the live stream you and Brian did, and it was absolutely incredible. Can I tell you, like, I was literally on the roof of a church building flying my drone for my wife because she wanted footage of an outdoor ceremony for Easter when you guys were doing that live stream, but I couldn't stop watching because I was so fascinated by the tech behind it. He was explaining to me some of so I've worked in TV broadcast before, and the live view and some of this other stuff that you're working with, and I was like, get pictures, I want to see the setup, and the fact that he brought in the Roadcaster 2 and like all that stuff, it came together so good. And anyways, I want to give you props, man, because that was super impressive. And I think it's the future. I think seeing that real time, if you guys didn't see this, you go look at Terry's channel, because basically real time with Brian BKXC, they're streaming on the trail system, and just he's got both mics. So he had the Roadcaster set up, and they're talking to each other, and the audio is great between both of them. It's a live feed. It's like crazy. So it's just the stuff that you don't see very often. I talk about people pushing the boundaries of technology and what can happen in this mountain biking thing. And Terry and Brian pushed it a little bit, and I was impressed because I'm a tech guy. I like tech. So anyways, before we get into what we were just talking about, Trail Monster is an absolute monster. He didn't even make a comment, but thank you, sir, for the $20. I really appreciate you. If we ever hang out, I owe you a solid glass of whiskey or a pop or whatever you need. Awesome. Thank you so much. So we were talking about the friendships that can form, on a ride or something like that. You guys have any experiences where you're basically, you've worked with somebody, you've done a collab, or, you've gone on a ride with somebody and it's like a friendship that you didn't maybe expect?
I think I know for me, that's been one of the biggest joys and awesome things about the whole YouTube thing. I never thought I'd be doing YouTube. Like 10 years ago, I was a complete conspiracy nut. The NSA is like looking over my shoulder, the whole 9 yards. now I'm like sending everybody like my ride routes on GPS and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But so it's crazy. But just the people that you get to meet, like just being here in this, having ridden with Tony, the local riders that I've met, so a couple months ago, riding with Mark and riding up this little local small trail, and this guy comes up and says, "Hey, your Scout's out." And Mark is like, "Yeah, Scout's out. Yeah. Like, hey, so do you watch any other mountain biking?"
You handed him a card behind the scenes.
I mean, you ever seen this anywhere?
Yeah.
And he's like, I got that a lot riding with Crashing Dad and Outdoor World all the time.
Okay, cool. But yeah, it's super cool. The collab and like meeting the new people has been awesome.
Yeah, and Jay, I mean, you and I randomly, I don't remember how we ended up just hanging out. Like it's funny how we rode together at some point. I can't even remember now because we ride together all the time. So
the first ride had to be Nevada City.
That's right. We talked about, and I showed you and Mr. Percussive around Nevada City.
We had no idea who the heck we were gonna go meet. We're like, I don't know who this Joe dude is. It could be weird. We definitely have to have
it was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and no, it was awesome, man. Like, just you showing us the whole place, and then me eventually coming back to Nevada City, and then meeting the whole MTB NorCal group. I mean, those guys and all of you blew my expectations completely. So.
And it's wild because you met the NorCal guys out there, and now you're an ambassador for MTB NorCal, which is one of the coolest organizations in the area. I'm going to have them on an extra live stream because normally I'm trying to do them like once a month or so, it seems like. But I'm going to bring them on earlier to talk about Dirt Days in a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks or so. And maybe I'll have you jump in on that too. But like just establishing relationships, you meet somebody and you need to be willing to talk to people, because if you're not willing to talk to someone, you might not ever form that friendship anyways. But then, you go on a ride with Brian randomly, not filmed, not documented or whatever, but you guys just reach out to each other and you guys go on a ride, and he posts your picture that you put of your hand up something, and Hand Up Gloves reaches out to you, and now you're working with Hand Up Gloves too, right?
Well, yeah, they found out that I'm a golfer, and it was me, Mr. Percussive, and Brian BKXC. So we were just like 3 YouTubers, no cameras, just chilling, hanging out, and having a good time at Rockville. And took like one photo, one selfie with Brian, and tagged him in it, and he reposted it. And then, sure enough, they're like, "Oh, you're a golfer? You play golf?" I'm like, "Yeah, I play golf, Yeah. And they're like, "Well, would you like to be a multi-sport ambassador?" So they reached out to me, and then through that, established a relationship with them, and they sent me some gloves, and then also got them hooked up just with the MTB NorCal guys. So it's amazing how things can connect so quickly, and just being open and receptive is all it takes.
It's really true. And as you talked about being a golfer and a mountain biker, I just had a brilliant multi-million-dollar idea. And if you don't have a TikTok, now's the time to start it, because here's what it is. Here's what it is. You know how everyone has the multi-tools for their bikes now that hide inside the little top of their head tube or whatever?
Yeah, man.
Yep. What I want is a video of you unscrewing that and then pulling out a full golf club from that damn thing and then hitting it. You can fit that into a 15-second TikTok. You'll go viral, and trust me, you'll get $1 million deals across the board. I just want 45% of it.
MTB Polo.
How about we give all of it to the local trail advocacy groups?
There you go.
That's not what I'm in it for, Jay. No. Okay, that's the NorCal stuff. No, I'm in it for the money.
Need more trails, Joe. Come on, dude.
Look, have you ever seen that movie?
Rich and famous.
No, have you ever seen that movie Blank Check, where the kid gets a blank check and he builds a go-kart track on his multi-million-dollar mansion? If you look at how much he spent versus how much he got, it didn't make any sense.
He was on a bike, I think, at the beginning. I mean, that's how it all started.
Yeah. See, so this is what I'm talking about. Like if I had a blank check, I'll build the trails. Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
I just want to be able to play the world's longest golf hole.
Yes. Where is that, by the way? Do you know?
And then I just have one club, and I just keep hitting the freaking ball until I find a hole somewhere. I guess I don't know.
Is there a record out there?
For the longest hole?
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up. But I think it'd be somewhere in another country where
probably in Dubai.
No limits on how big the courses are.
That would be fantastic. That'd really,
so
I mean,
cool.
I've never heard of anything like that. That's a really good idea.
Like a par 10.
Surely
it's my idea,
you could break the record out here. No, dude? The only golf balls I've ever hit are at a driving range, and they go all sorts of directions.
Yeah. I don't appreciate your consistency, Jay. All right. Let's talk about another mountain biking topic. What are we talking about? So we talk about the idea of friendships that can form within, just a single ride. But I think it's interesting. We've talked about this before, like that you can literally reach out to people and establish and say, hey, like, let's go on a ride. I told you lately, like Strava and Trail Forks and whatnot. I can't keep up with it.
Story.
Yeah. Okay. He's gonna tell us. See, this is good. That's how you lead into stories. But I hate going to a trail system now and like trying to figure out if I turn left or right. It drives me crazy. I would much rather, if I'm in the area, reach out to somebody and just have them show me. And I, as a mountain bike community as a whole, before we get to Kyle's story,
I'll give you an idea for
no, hold on. As a mountain bike community as a whole, I think everyone is so cool and so receptive to the idea of showing someone around and having them be involved. And like, it's just such a good community. There's certain regions that are not, and we all know where they are. But like, for the most part, I feel like if you say, hey, man, like I'm coming to your town, could you at least tell me where to go or show me around? Most people are like 100%.
Yeah. Well, so James, who I don't see in the chat, JF Rides, he's out of Denver, Colorado, and really good dude. I think he had hit up Shane at the time because Shane has the notoriety for the Grand Junction area. And they were going to get a ride together. And anytime someone hits up Shane, which happened quite a few times, so we've ridden for people all over the world, which is just fantastic for our little small town, especially. And so James came out and he rode with us. And so Shane goes, hey, everyone, this guy's coming to town. You want to go ride? So we go ride. We get to know James. And then RC and I, Outdoor Gold and myself, we ended up going with James. He drove us down to Sedona for Sedona Mountain Bike Fest. The only time I've been there. And that ended up being one of the best weekends of my life, even though we were all kind of, especially me, like irritable the whole time.
What does that mean?
I was
stomach problems, or you just weren't?
Like just irritable. Like I just kind of annoyed easily. Like I don't know, but like I filmed the whole time, right? And this is a good thing about YouTube is I filmed the whole time, and like somehow I edited the videos in a way that kind of like cut out all the kind of toxic headspace I was in, and I was like, dude, I had a great time, even though I felt like I was kind of unhappy at the time. And it's one of those bizarre things, but like it was a fantastic trip, and it happened just from like it stemmed from James going, hey Shane, can you show me the trails in your area? And, and then boom.
Yeah, and those are the best rides too. I did a family vacation for Thanksgiving up to Idaho, and was like, man, I don't know what to ride in Idaho. What's going to be good in like the Boise area? So I message on Instagram, it's Swimba, it's their like local mountain biking association. And then the director of Swimba messaged me back and said, hey, what day, what time? I told him. He's like, okay, meet me here in the morning. I got you. His name is Carlos, super cool dude, and showed me one of the best mountain bike trails I've ever been on in my life. Probably never would have found it or figured out how the flow of it was. And it's called Table Rock in Boise. If you're ever up there, I highly recommend it. But that was just something cool. It just happened just because of Instagram and this whole social media thing.
Yeah, and another thing we've talked about quite frequently that I find fascinating is like there's so many people that I never would have met had I not started this dumb YouTube channel. I mean, like realistically, like, who knows where it'll go or what it'll be. People talk about goals, whatever else, but like at the end of the day, like putting some stuff out there makes you more approachable to other people, or at least you can say, hey, I'm not completely crazy. Look at this stuff I've done. And then they can, bridge that gap.
In your case, maybe going, hey, everybody, I am crazy, so just know what you're getting into when you walk up to me.
Yeah. I feel like
maybe watch the video and see.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the question that used to be asked, which is like, is he like that in real life, is like slowly coming out of people's minds and they're starting to get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, just imagine like back in the 90s, trying to get like a group mountain bike ride together with like people you've never met. Be like, hey, so what's this guy's like? And you have like all these outside influence, but you can't like now you'd be like, oh, just look at this video, watch here, see.
That's 100% true. That's super interesting. Yeah, it's like
there's less reason to be like reserved. Like myself, I'm pretty introverted, and like. The fact that I have videos out there, I know that like people can kind of already know what to expect if they do recognize me, or otherwise, like if I know them and it's like I feel like I can kind of just be a little bit more open because I already know that they're not gonna just be a-holes because they're good people.
Yeah,
it's kind of, I don't know, everyone's kind of opening up a little bit more by having this outlet.
I'm just waiting to see what the grandkids are gonna say. 20 years down the road, be like, Grandpa, what were you doing? Like 25 years ago. I don't know. I mean, like your Dickbeard saga. I mean, your grandkids are gonna. that's
God,
Good story.
I'm telling you,
Legacy.
I was so glad I was able to film everything prior to coming home because this stemmed from like that night before I went to bed. I was like, I got to get rid of this thing before I show up at my front door because otherwise I'll never hear the end of it. And I don't think I've ever seen that video, thankfully. But someday he's gonna go.
Someday they will.
That's why you came home with the mustache,
I
Dad.
feel like you really love that mustache too, man. I think
I
this
mean-
whole thing was
It
just for
works,
you to
right?
have the mustache.
There you go. There you go. There it is, guys.
You know, it's funny because like I went into my barber like when I came back and I was like, "You're never gonna believe this story I gotta tell you." He's like, "Wait a minute, you have a mustache?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Looks pretty good." All right, cool. All right, yeah,
It's a
looks pretty
longer
good.
story.
Let me show you some pictures. You're like, "You dummy," you know, like. It's a hard one to. Okay, can I tell you? Like, okay, so here's what happened. I was in a bar in New Bern, North Carolina, a few days ago, and it was funny as hell because somebody said to me across the table. We were outside. We had our beers in hand or whatever. Somebody from across the table goes. They go. I'm gonna simulate how close they got. They go. Hey, you know who you look like? And I was like, no. Who do I look like? They're like, what's the guy from Clerks? Jay
That has a mustache?
Yeah. What's the guy from My Name is Earl? What's the guy from My Name is Earl?
Oh.
Counting on one of you guys. Please, dear God, or you're never going to be invited again. Somebody.
I didn't watch My Name is Earl.
Earl.
Somebody in chat, save me. Who's the guy from My Name is Earl? I'm spacing on his name right now, and I look like an idiot.
It's going really well.
Yeah,
Jason
God.
Lee.
Jason Lee. Yes, thank you. Okay, you win the internet. So they go, you look like Jason Lee, and then I proceeded to talk to them, and I kid you guys not. I proceeded to talk to them for 20 minutes explaining the Dick Beard saga. Like I was like, you want to know how this mustache started? And they were just so not interested in what I was saying. Like it was the best
They
thing.
start here and then they slowly
Put a
like.
neck in your beard.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a
they're just kinda
long
like,
day.
"No, okay, this guy, I'm just gonna get out of here.
You
Yeah.
did say you're from California.
Yeah. I wouldn't stop talking. You guys would have been proud. I wish somebody was recording that because you could just see the looks on their, and I saw the look, their eyes and their blood draining out of their face as they listened to the story, and I didn't stop. I want you guys to know that.
Embrace it.
You should watch What We Do in the Shadows. It's on, I think, Hulu. I think it's an FX show, but it's about vampires.
Yeah, I've seen the movie, but I haven't seen the show.
Okay, the show is awesome. And on there's a vampire. And what he does is he gets people to get into fights and he sucks their like emotion. He feeds off their emotional energy until they just like are dead. And that's what you did to that person. You sucked their like social emotional energy out of them.
And harness
telling
it.
them
Please,
your
dear
own
God, don't tell
storytelling.
my wife I sucked anything out of anybody at a bar. Okay, that's rule number one.
Yeah.
Hey, the crashing dumb stupid head is here. Hi, Shane. How are you? He's got in-laws in town. That's the word on the street.
Really, he's on a
Bring him on
Hollywood
too.
set.
Bring him on too.
Yeah. Yes, I did it. I actually, and then I proceeded to show them the picture I posted on Instagram of people comparing me to Jason Lee. And I'm telling you, man, they just zoned out. They weren't into it at all. And I wouldn't stop. I was like, you committed. You talked to me in the bar.
Did you?
I
Post
made
a
them
picture?
regret it.
Did you post something on Instagram?
I did, yeah, it was like a
I didn't remember
side-by-side.
that. Yeah, that was. I totally forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty
I can have messy hair, Trail Lady. I can have messy hair. I mean, it's not that hard. You know, before the mustache, I got compared to Ryan Reynolds. So I was like, I don't see the resemblance, but the
You
style of
wish.
humor, maybe.
Maybe you have tall heads.
I mean, yeah, he's
Maybe
much
the
more
head-
handsome. And
Okay,
much more
Kyle, I'm
hairy.
cutting your mic. Let's
Yeah.
just go ahead and. What did you just? I don't,
You actually
okay,
cut it.
yeah, I did. I
was
actually
gonna
did cut his
fake
mic.
it.
Yeah, that's. I have complete control over here. You guys can talk all you want, but you know, with his mic, I got control of his
Got his
mic.
doodads.
Yeah.
I bet
I'm gonna
that
get a
a
refill.
lot of
So
this
this is my
equipment.
first live stream ever,
Yeah.
and
I think it's
really-
Byron's too. Yeah.
It's really weird because like you can't see the comments in this.
Oh, yeah. You should be able to if you
No,
click
but
on.
then I can't see you guys. So it's like. I'm
Oh,
just
are you on your
looking at
iPad or
the
what?
Huh?
Are you on your iPad?
Yeah.
That might be it. Yeah, on PC you can open up both, and you should be able to. Like Byron, you can see the comments. Yeah.
Or
Yes.
get your phone out. And
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
a. Who knows what StreamYard app is doing? Like again, the benefit here is simplicity. StreamYard enables a certain level of simplicity, meaning that I can send you a link, you click it, and for the most part, it will work. Now, in the long term, I want to get more involved with the live stream because there's bits and stuff that I want to work in. But currently, it's like it's way more involved. You're talking about OBS, you're talking about bringing in streaming software, you're talking about mixing stuff real time, and now it's like I'm an operator in addition to trying to tell stories And I think that the stories are probably more beneficial for the time being. But in the long run, you saw what Brian had tonight. He's got a box that can switch camera angles and do all that stuff, and he can kind of man it all himself.
He came on for like 10
he even
minutes
has lightning going on in the background.
I know he had lighting effects. I guarantee you. Look, I guarantee you that wasn't real lightning. He had a crew outside. He probably had some lowly, like 200 subscriber YouTubers out front with flashes and
crashing dad out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Byron.
They're working together.
Yeah.
Conspiracy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly it. Crashing dad's out there with lights and he's in a fire pit with his in-laws. I don't believe it for a second.
Blew his private
I don't
jet
believe
out
it for
there.
a second. If you guys haven't
Walmart
subscribed
bought
to
out.
Byron of Illicit Trailheads, by the way, go subscribe to him. We showed a clip earlier of some of the reasons why him and I relate to each other really well. And it's dad joke central, and I totally get it.
It is. It is. So the other day it was funny. My wife, there was a spider in the room, and she's like, "You need to go take care of that. Go ahead and take it out." I was like, "All right, cool." I mean, he ended up being a cool guy. We grabbed some drinks. We played some golf. He's a web developer, so I mean, it was a good time. It was a good time.
He had a lot of tattoos, that guy, Spider.
Yep. Oh, I mean, I kind of do. I mean, I've got some like arm, hand stuff. Got one on my shoulder.
I just got my first piece done recently, and I immediately realized how many more tattoos I need to
Are we going to show it off?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You got
I don't know if I'm flexible enough.
You got a penis? What?
What?
All right, let's see it. Let's see it. I'm gonna hit a button to show the alternate camera angles. Oh, you wore pants? That's cute. There it is. There it is.
Holy crap, man! That's pretty good.
Oh my! I'm cramping.
There you go.
Yeah, I got that done, and now I'm like, oh, dude, like I've been putting off getting my first tattoo. Whoa, I'm making a mess. I've been putting off getting my first tattoo started for quite a while. Just no real reason, just money mainly. And yeah, as soon as I got that, I was like, okay, now I need to get all the rest. I need to like fill out my arm and everything. I just want to get a bunch of them.
I've never got involved in the tattoo game because if I would have gotten a tattoo and I thought like getting a tattoo was a great idea, I'd have Ninja Turtles all over me. I'd be Power Rangers. Like and not to say that those aren't cool now, but like that's would have been on me for sure. And I would have to live with that and explain that.
You don't have
and
any
luckily
tattoos?
they have a resurgence going on right now. But yeah.
You have no tattoos?
No tattoos. Not even a lower back tattoo, which is surprising to many.
You don't have Shane's face on your chest?
No, it's a temporary tattoo. I had to put it on with water.
You must not be a mountain biker, Joe.
Do you have? Wait, everybody else has tattoos here. Say for me, huh?
I do have a
No,
mountain
I've
biking
got
tattoo as
plenty
well.
of tattoos. Yeah, they're all my mountain biking scars.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's a
say
good
my
point.
mountain
Yeah.
biking tattoo
They
is
tell a bunch of
right up
stories.
here.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can probably see the whatchamacallit, the plate.
what is-
microphone's
that's your-
in the way.
There's a plate in your arm.
Yeah, I got the. A lot of people get the titanium, but when you're not wealthy and you don't have health
Does it set off
insurance,
metal
it's
detectors
stainless
when
steel.
you go through the airports?
It doesn't. I don't know why, because I was told it was stainless steel.
Wait, titanium's not magnet. Wait,
No,
it's not. It's stainless steel.
Mine is stainless steel.
How
is
would
what
you
I
know
was
if it's
told.
stainless? It's inside of you. You can't tell.
I asked the
Okay.
orthopedic surgeon.
But if
Because
it's
I thought- I was
stained,
like,
who's gonna know?
is it titanium?
I just have to assume when you go to the airport and you get that 3D scan that they do of you, where you got to put your arms up and put your feet in the right position. They
I've
probably,
done
yeah, I know. Here's what.
With this. Yeah.
Here's my thought. Like they're out there, the person that's looking at the screen, like this guy's a badass.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's what they got to be saying. You know what I mean? What else would they say?
Yeah, I don't know how thorough those, because I think those scans kind of point out. Because
They might be saying he has like a kilo of coke in his shoulder.
Yep. And trust me, we're going to get back on the topic of mountain biking, but I want to talk about when those first got unveiled, everybody thought it was going to show their junk live on screen. Like, remember, like when they unveiled the airport thing that was 360-degree scan x-ray, everybody's like, everybody's going to see my junk, you know, and they wanted to pat down, which definitely involved junk, like touching. So it's like, I don't know, it's like a lose-lose situation in general, but then you go look at the screen, it's just like, it's just some animated dude like this, like, oh,
You
hey.
just get a dot. On
So
it.
hey,
I
I
would
see a
view
comment.
airport pat downs as like really terrible massages. You know, they're free, so who cares?
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
Including
I'll
the price
take
of the
it.
ticket.
Yes.
So when does a dad joke become a dad joke?
I firmly believe that you have to be a dad to tell a dad joke. Otherwise, it's just a joke.
That's
And there has to be
partially true.
there has to be specific pauses. There has to be very specific.
When it
pauses.
becomes apparent. That's the punchline.
Yeah.
It wasn't getting said. It needed to get said. It's like
This is why Kyle's
it's in
here.
the comments.
Yeah.
He followed up.
Oh, solid point. Solid point. Oh, this is great. That is a good point. Yeah, 100%.
Or you download an app called Dad Jokes, and that's where you get some of your material from.
Remember, okay, again, we are going to get back to mountain biking. Don't leave, everybody. You remember the glory days of Chuck Norris jokes? Man, what a good time that was.
And then it got ruined by Jack Bauer jokes.
Yeah. Man, Chuck Norris jokes were the best. Yes.
Ooh,
A lot of
that might be my next
mountain
video,
bikers
Jack.
are not in their 40s, though. So not all of them have watched much of the Chuck Norris stuff. So some of us are young. Just saying.
Kyle, I'm going to turn your mic down. Hold on.
Hey, that's another really good reason to start racing, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Chuck Norris.
What is?
Yeah, because of Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris is an absolute legend in the industry. All right, so we're gonna kind of close it up as we're past the 2 hour mark, 2 hour and almost 15 minutes. Everybody in chat, you guys have been incredible. Crashing Dad just jumped in, who's sitting at a fireplace with his in-laws as we speak. He's happy to be here, but he won't jump in live. I would like just like a 30, maybe even not even 30 second, like a 10-second like hi, but I don't think we're gonna get that from the superstar and the Hollywood megalomaniac that is the Crashing Dad tonight, which is
You
fine.
see the Hollywood sign behind him.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. But he's fascinated with this green screen lately. He's been like, he won't film anything without a green screen anymore. And you guys all know
He
this.
doesn't want to flex his really expensive house. That
Yes.
he can't. There's not a single corner or wall in the house that doesn't show how expensive it is. And
I thought you
Exactly
just
true.
needed a little bit of purple mood lighting.
Yeah. So this may be a good opportunity for you guys that are in chat. Okay, we're hanging out. This is your opportunity. If there's something you want us to discuss, want us to cover, this is your chance. Put it in chat. We can go on you never know. We could end up going 3 hours longer. But the point is, this is a chance. I'd like to get involved. And I told you guys, one of the reasons why I like to start these live streams is because I like real-time interaction. One of the things that's hard to do on YouTube is real-time interaction. We make a video, we put it out. You guys know this. You leave a comment and you make a comment, but that's kind of sometimes the end of it. Like, I like the idea of being able to talk real time and get some on screen time with you guys or whoever else. I think it's super awesome. Trail Monster, you're an absolute maniac. He comes in here with $21 donation. Wow, 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 wowie, wow, wow.
trying to make this a thing. I feel like that's like if you were a radio host. I guess if you were a radio host, you wouldn't be able to do the finger guns.
I feel like it should be like a sound effect that plays when somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
Like
got
Twitch.
sound effects.
Let's turn this into Twitch.
Okay. Yeah, here it is. Sound effect. You ready? Thank you, Trail Monster. Thank you. Thank you. All right, that's good enough. There you go. Thank you, man. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody here. Trail, share the wealth. Yeah, I do really appreciate you guys being here. Okay, so let's talk about one final thing before we close it out tonight. Wireless shifting. So they unveiled recently, this GX Eagle wireless shifting adapter kit, which is basically $300. Is it worth it now? That's a no. Okay, what do we got?
I feel
So
like
just did a work trip to Oahu. Try not to talk about it too much because it was amazing. But we rented a Denali Yukon over there and had a push button ignition.
Okay.
Well, the push button ignitions, as long as you have the key fob in there, they'll start. But we had this instance on the North Shore and the key fob was in there. The push button wouldn't start the vehicle. And they were like, even though it's like a super small island, they're like 3 hours away from getting like a tow truck out to us. So then I'm thinking, well, if you have this GX Axis and then you run out of batteries or there's like electronic interference because you're right into power line, I don't know, some crazy thing, and it doesn't shift and you have the rest of the climb to go and you're like in super high gear, that would suck.
Story time.
That would suck.
It was actually a MTB NorCal group ride not too long ago, a couple months ago.
Yep.
And Robert from the Biker Channel, he had
Look at that name drop. He flexed on all of us.
Yeah, my friend Robert. He's got a wireless system, not that new one, obviously, or I think he actually bought that too. I think he's got that ordered. Anyway, so
He's got that YouTube money, you know?
he had forgotten to charge his, and like we were literally just talking about it, like either that day or like the last ride we had been on because we ride all the time. We're best friends, and his battery died mid-ride, and yeah, sure enough, luckily I think it was kind of in the middle of the gear range, so yeah, I mean, you kind of. It is what it is.
I mean,
but
I
he
guess
did a
you
lot of
always, like-
hiking because he couldn't shift, and I was like, "That's exactly why I don't want that."
Jay, what say you?
I'll give you my short answer. I stopped wearing a gimbal because it takes extra batteries and because you have to wear a bra. But yeah, the the fact that I have to just carry batteries for my GoPro is enough. And unless I was sponsored, then I probably wouldn't be using shifting that's electronic or braking that's electronic, or maybe seats that are electronic. I don't know. The seat post thing kind of makes sense because you can pull them in and out of one bike to another if you have multiple bikes. But I don't know.
I will say also it's easier to be a hater like myself if you can't afford the things that are in question, like the expensive electronic shifters.
Okay, so, you guys ready? Now you guys all give me your answer. You ready for the Calirado Kid rant?
Yes.
All right,
we have a choice?
No.
Yeah, do we?
No.
Can we opt out?
Sure, shit, don't. All right, you ready? You guys ready in chat? Here we go. You guys are all 100% correct. All right, listen. I work in radio, okay? And I know this for a fact. You put a wireless microphone on a talent, that battery is going to die and you're off the air, okay? It means nothing. So what I'm talking about is having to charge another battery. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? A gimbal battery, a GoPro battery, a seat battery, a shifter battery. I can't keep up with any of it. And if I got to charge a Skydio battery and a Sony a7S III battery and a GoPro battery, and I got to charge my seat battery and my shifter battery, I don't got time for none of this stuff. It's too many batteries. I can't keep up with any of it, and it doesn't solve any real problem. What's the problem that a mechanical shifter has? A cable works, and it always works. This is what I don't understand. And Trail Lady MTV. Okay, you're gonna accessorize my rant because it's gonna grow even further now. All right. When you put a giant marketing campaign behind a product that no one will be able to buy for a very long time, I don't understand the point. When you get every mountain bike YouTuber, when you get every marketing firm, you got every MTB, Pink Bike, whatever else, the beta, I don't care what you're talking about, all of them got this product and told us how awesome it was that it was $600. But you know what? You can't buy it anywhere. You can't buy it anywhere. So what's the point?
Tell us how you really feel. Yeah, that
I like how you got
so
closer
intense.
to the
He unplugged
microphone.
part of. I've only got half a headphone. He like right away just immediately started to unplug. I don't know what happened, but I lost half my audio. So speaking of technology problems, you get fancy and you start. Oh, there it goes. Whoa, that was really weird. It just kicked in.
Okay, I'm back. How'd that go? Is everybody? Oh, did MTV Allen log in time for the rant? I hope he did.
He did. The very end.
Wow, you missed a rant of epic proportions, man. I'm glad I got a chance to go on a rant because that's one thing I've been wanting to do during the live streams, and I don't always get to. Okay, I'm glad you guys in chat here, and I'm glad Byron and what's your name again? Steve, yeah, Kyle. I'm glad, and Jay. I'm glad you guys were here for that, and you let me go on that rant. I appreciate it.
Alan.
Steve. Yeah, freaking.
Plus, when the Russians attack, it's just you're done.
Look, that being said, there's something like in me that wants to buy it anyways, but I don't know. Again, I don't know what problem it's solving other than you just have another battery to charge.
That's
So
true.
here's
All
the
it takes is one
argument,
EMP, and then you can't go
The
mountain
argument
biking.
Yeah.
is that you can
Done.
bash the derailleur and it comes back.
No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. All right, I've talked to engineers at major multi-million-dollar companies, and this is something I'm actually not making up because I work in radio. So like they've released products, and I'm like, look, you said it did this, but it's not doing this. And here's the video proof of it not doing this. And you know what they tell me every time? You guys want to know what they tell me? They tell me, oh, we've never seen that before. Every time. I'm telling you, they show you a video of it doing a thing. I don't believe it until I see it. All right. And there's somebody that's going to back me up in this for certain. He's somebody that's got a lot of money. And I'm going to
a storage closet.
Yeah, he found a storage closet he could broadcast from momentarily. And so he's going to jump in. There's no way he doesn't back me up on this whole process. I guarantee you right now, coming to us live from his Hollywood mansions, this is the Crashing Dad. And his name is Butts.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Loud and clear.
No way. I didn't know this was going to work. I made a note.
Just in case the audio didn't work.
Exactly. Hey,
Yeah.
you said to give you 10 seconds. I'm giving you 10 seconds, and I'm backing you up. I got your back on this. Whatever you just said, you're 100% right.
Whatever it is.
I don't know what you just said. But I love you guys. I miss you guys.
Love you, Shane.
Kyle.
See you soon, Shane.
I will see you in like 2 weeks. Yeah, Kyle's here.
What? He's coming?
No,
My
don't
wife-
worry about it.
My wife says I love you, Kyle. Love you,
No,
Kyle.
Kyle's
Yeah.
mine.
Love you.
Kyle's
Miss you
mine
guys.
now,
I miss you
Shane.
guys. See you soon.
There you go. And with that, that might be a good opportunity to call it an evening. Anything else you guys want to add before we call it a night?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
just
was
like
11
to.
seconds.
Yeah, see, he knows.
I would just like to say that you should be thankful for my sacrifice this evening because I got to leave at like 2:30 in the morning to go fishing tomorrow. So I'm like getting no sleep tonight. I still got to drive an hour up the hill to my buddy's house. And yeah, so I mean, I'm sacrificing sleep for this. So
then
and
you
I
sleep
value
when you
sleep
fish, though.
very highly.
Well, it was awesome to be on here with you guys. Pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks for jumping in, man.
Nice to meet you,
Hopefully-
Byron.
Byron,
Yeah,
how can they
nice to
find
meet
you?
guys?
Byron,
Nice to
how
meet
can
you
they find you? So go subscribe to Byron and list of Trailheads. How do they find you?
Yes, YouTube, Instagram. Those are the two major outlets. Like, subscribe, share, smash the bell, whatever everybody else says. Instagram, you'll get the most interaction from me. YouTube, it's a little flux, a lot of work traveling right now. You know, freedom and all that jazz. So
Too many words. I'm gonna promote them for you guys. Listen,
Instagram.
If you're willing to put up with my stupid content, you're gonna love this guy. Okay, this is somebody like I've got an eye for budding talent and comedy and entertainment, and this is a guy who can do it. I'm telling you, go look up and listen to Trailheads. Go look up at Byron, find him, and get involved. Jay, there's no question that he's an incredible writer, an incredible personality, and he's gonna do great things. He's involved with the mountain bike community more than I ever could be, and he's just gonna keep spiraling upwards. And you know, some people say spiraling downwards, but I'm saying upwards. Okay, and that's where he's going. So
Well, you got to go up to go down.
see, that's exactly what I want. That's why he's the sum of things.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I pronounce his name wrong all the time. That's a reference to that. Look, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for jumping in, and I appreciate you guys being here. We will do another one very soon. I would like to do a earlier episode that's going to focus on Dirt Days with MTB NorCal. That's an event that's coming up soon, so you may see Jay return for that. And it is a mountain bike event going on in Nevada City on May 8th, so we're not that far from that. So I think in about 2 weeks, we may do one just to cut in, maybe an hour or so. But I want to talk about the event. I want to talk about mountain biking, and that's what we'll do. So with that in mind, I appreciate you guys being here, and I'm going to play some music to sign us out, but I appreciate you guys being here, man. Thanks for jumping in. All right, guys?
have a good night.
All right, we'll see you later. All right.
My pageant wave.
I'm bringing the mics down. I'll see ya. We're gonna keep the mics up.
I'm just going to look at the chat here. Probably be the longest.
That guitar solo gets me every time. Stunning. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Oh, I can't find the end broadcast password. Okay, there it is. It's awkward, but we'll see you later.